Yeah, look, I think what we saw early on in the preseason, he's starting to mature as a pitcher. He knows himself. We've had a chance to have him up in the commentary box and discussing his game plan. And I think what he's identified is that when he stays within himself, he stays down in the zone. And he's very, very effective, and he really, really pushes to get soft contact. And that's when he's best. Is not trying to strike everybody out, but pitching to contact.
Sun setting beyond the right field line, a first pitch temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, slight breeze blowing from the northeast at 3 kilometers per hour. As usual, it's going out to right field. And that's another thing that we should keep an eye on here. Both teams with very solid starts to the season on the mound. That can be said especially of Sydney. That's been the strength of their team. This is a hitter-friendly environment. And after the Bats just couldn't get going in Auckland at a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, the Bandits, I'm sure, are very happy to be home playing against their home fans.
They are, and I've been to Blacktown as well in Sydney, and it's a big yard. So everybody that plays in big yards love to come here. And I think really the key for the visiting teams is not trying to do too much. If they stay within themselves, they'll have good at-bats. And sometimes guys play at bigger ballparks, and they want to hit the ball further. Sammy will have to keep these guys off balance tonight.
Lineup for the Blue Sox begins with Dwayne Kemp, right-handed hitting second baseman, against Sam Holland. No wins, no losses, a 1.69 ERA, and the first pitch of the ball game misses for a ball. 6:02 local time. Holland making his fourth appearance of the season, his second start, fouled back, and the count is 1-1. Dwayne Kemp will be followed in the Blue Sox lineup by Gift Ngope, Jacob Eunice, Trent D'Antonio, Jack Murphy, Zach Shepard, Michael Campbell, Shen Hao Wei, and Alex Howe. Blue Sox managed by Australian baseball mainstay Tony Harris, and they are off to a 5-3 start to the season. Foul tip into the mid, and the count is 1-2.
That's where Sammy wants to be right there. He needs to be down. I like the hitting approach early on. Take a few pitches, really try to adjust, and he's going to make you work. And that's the thing that's different. I've seen this team play a number of times now, and they're very strong 1 through 9, so they will test the pitching staff.
Fouled at the plate. Kemp stays alive. Bandits, as you can see, are wearing pink jerseys tonight. Alpha H Ladies Night at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, benefiting the McGraw Foundation for Breast Cancer Research and Awareness. After the game, those game-used jerseys will be autographed by the players who wore them and auctioned off online next week at brisbanebandits.com.au. The 1-2, chopped on the ground towards short. Charging is Bennett, and he throws on to first for out number 1.
That's exactly what Sammy wants to do right there. We talked about his pitch to contact, utilize your defense, particularly in this ballpark. He really works well here because everything he's worked to a downward action, whether it be his two-seam fastball or be his slider that really works away from the right-hand hitters. Really a ground ball-induced guy, but when he gets the ball up, he does induce the fly ball, and we know it can be very dangerous in this ballpark.
Gift Ngope steps in. Ngope became the first African-born player to make the major leagues a couple years ago when he debuted for the Pittsburgh Pirates. This past year was in the Toronto Blue Jays organization, currently a free agent, as he tries to turn some heads in the ABL. Ball 1 misses.
Got a chance to talk to some of the guys in the organization, and he said what's been great about this young man at the plate is not just that he's played in the big league level, but he's a good clubhouse guy. So I think that's huge in any organization when you can bring that veteran presence and also can help that clubhouse gel as well.
In talking with Tony Harris, he says that's been the big difference through 2 rounds this year. It's been a good clubhouse, a good vibe around this team, and of course winning helps that. But as they look to make the playoffs and maybe topple the Bandits in the ABL, something that they have really struggled to do in the last few years, it helps to have clubhouse chemistry.
Look, and that's what's hard when you run, let's say, an import team where you've got up to 12 imports. It's who can acclimate and adjust the quickest. And really, if you can build that culture early, you'll build a winning culture. So guys know their purpose, and ultimately that's to win a Claxton Shield.
Ngope taking all the way. Sees a strike on the inside corner. It's 3-1. Jacob Eunice waiting on deck. (3-1) fouled at the plate. Holland throwing from an unusual angle. We'll call it a low 3/4. Not quite sidearm, but that is something that he has going for him, especially with the slider that he throws. There's a lot of lateral movement on his pitches because of where he releases the ball. 3-2 right back to Holland off of his glove, and that's going to be a tough play. No play attempted even by the third baseman, Shu. Infield single for Gift and Gope, and the Blue Sox get the first base runner of the game.
Yeah, Sammy did exactly what he wanted to do, is induce the ground ball, but unfortunately unable to come back with the two-hopper back at him. So now we have a little bit of work with a speedy runner on first, and now we start getting to the heart of this Blue Sox order in the 3-hole hitter.
Jacob Eunice steps in, representing the Netherlands. Third baseman for the Blue Sox.
Well, actually, just Eunice, he's local. He's a local product. He playing second
pitch
base
on the inside corner.
Just double checking.
Holland in the stretch. Foot on the first base side of the rubber. And a check the runner at first, and Gope gets back.
One thing Eunice has done for a long time for the Blue Sox, he's probably been the most consistent offensive hitter, obviously, with the guy on deck, and D'Antonio as well. Very, very consistent within this Blue Sox lineup. So now they're starting to hit their maturity as players and really rise to the occasion and hitting key holes within this lineup.
Missing low and away, count is 1-1. Eunice takes on the inside corner. It's 1-2. Infield pretty much straight up. Runner goes, and it's fouled off.
It's really good to see, and that's what I was going to see, the difference in the dynamics of this ball club is that they've got a balance of speed and power, and obviously they picked up Murphy this year, former Canberra Cavalry veteran catcher, and not only does he bring, his experience, but he also brings a very good baseball mind behind the plate. But what I like is that they've got a bit of uniqueness this year where they've got speed, guys that can handle the bat.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
And they can force to put pressures on defense. And even in a small ballpark, particularly at their ballpark, it really plays into factor.
Skyfleet Hino strikeout, the first of the game for Sam Holland. With 2 down, that brings up Trent D'Antonio.
And really, this is their heart of their order. He's been a Blue Sox for a number of years since day dot. So a very, very tough out from the left-hand side, and he's been a Bandits killer for a long time.
And Gope, a couple pitches after he took off, is checked at first. And this is a stolen base situation, Paul, with 2 down and a runner at first. Cleanup batter at the plate with some extra base pop, but you like your chances a lot better of scoring a run if you can get Ngope into scoring position.
Well, that's it. And what it does is it maybe puts a little bit more pressure on the middle of the diamond. D'Antonio really uses the middle of the diamond well. He's an all-field hitter, but if he can put a little bit more pressure on the defense, it can potentially open up a hole and then create a situation with Murphy, who's on deck, who's very dangerous as a 5-hole hitter.
De La Calle, the catcher, sets up outside, and the pitch is outside, taken for a ball. Bandits defense has De La Calle catching behind home plate. Nielsen, Campbell, and Dutton across the outfield. You can see there. Shu at third, Bennett at short, Unrow at second, Sutherland at first. Holland looks in. And another throw to first, this one low, dug out by Sutherland.
And right now, where you would potentially see the pressure, you're in a hitting count right now, so he doesn't want to go 3-1. So potentially you can almost have like a run and hit situation. If he gets the runner moving, hits the ball in the gap, has the potential to score him. So see how Harris plays tonight.
Missing wide, and it's another 3-ball count. Jack Murphy waits on deck. And Gope with the infield single swung at the 3-1 pitch, and another 3-1 coming. And Gope takes off, and the pitch is ball 4 outside. 1 out single, a 2 out walk, and the Blue Sox have something cooking in the first against Sam Holland.
Blue Sox have done a really good job right there. So what I'd like to see is how aggressive they are early in this ball game. It is a hitter-friendly ballpark, but they're still looking like they're going to put pressure on defense and on the pitching staff, force him to throw strikes. So got in a hitting count, and we got the ball away, and now we've got a tough situation for the Bandits with 2 outs in first and second.
And a veteran hitter at the plate, Jack Murphy, the switch-hitting catcher, batting lefty against the righty Holland. Popped up behind third. Shoe over, has room. And with the wind pushing it back towards fair territory, he makes the basket catch for out number 3. A pair of base runners, but no damage for the Blue Sox. The Bandits are coming to bat.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Scoreless in Brisbane as we go to the bottom of the first with Paul Gonzalez, Eric Bramer with you at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. Alex Maestri, the former Bandit, takes his warm-up tosses for the Blue Sox. 33 years old, originally out of Italy. He has a 1-1 record with a 4.66 ERA so far this year. Paul, mainly a 3-pitch guy. He used to be a 2-pitch guy, but when you play in Asia, sometimes you pick up pitches, and it seems like that is exactly what has happened with Alex.
Yeah, I tell you one thing you do get with Maestri is you get a competitor. We were fortunate enough to have him here in 11-12. He was a product of the Chicago Cubs organization, free agent, and he's actually a really good story. He's a kid that invested in himself to come and play with the Bandits that year, and recommendations on fellow teammate Ryan Searle when he was with the Cubbies. Ended up going playing some independent ball in company baseball in Japan. Really did an outstanding job, and it was picked up by the Oryx Buffalo, or excuse me, the Kobe Buffalo organization. And he's had a fantastic career in Japan, and it's great to see him back on Australian soil. But he's obviously in a different uniform this year.
Andrew Campbell lifts one high in the air to left center field. Into the gap, it's down for a hit. Splitting the 2 outfielders, it is a stand-up double for Andrew Campbell, who has quite the affinity for starting homestands on a high note.
And that's what Campbell does. Like I said, these guys had a tough road trip in Auckland, and all reports were, obviously, no disrespect to that organization. They did a brilliant job. The ballpark's a big ballpark. The guys didn't make the adjustments as they needed to, but they seem to acclimate really well to this ball club, and a great start for the Bandits here in the first.
TJ Bennett steps in. Just as it was in round one, a lefty-heavy lineup for Dave Nielsen's Bandits. Campbell, T.J. Bennett, David Sutherland, Donald Lutz, Shu Chi Hung, Riley Unruh, Wade Dutton, Daniel Nielsen, and Danny De La Calle. First 5 men in that lineup are lefties. Unruh, making his 2018 debut, is a switch hitter. Maestri delivers inside, ball 1.
This is actually a really good opportunity right here. You got, as far as number 2 at bat, this is where the Bandits lineup comes in. If he can drive something to the right side, he really creates early offense for the Bandits here in the first.
Bennett with a line drive, caught by the second baseman Kemp, and just getting back to the bases, Andrew Campbell. There was that well-hit ball to the right side of the infield, Paul, but Kemp had other ideas.
I tell you what, great job by Kemp. That ball was absolutely a rocket to second base and able to knock it down and get a chance to see the replay here. Good play to his left, come up, and I like the awareness where he comes up and fires the ball to second base, unable to get Campbell good heads-up base running.
Dwayne Kemp and Gift and Gope, a pretty good middle infield for the Blue Sox. Here's David Sutherland. Sutherland takes a called strike.
And that's really a big out for the Blue Sox right there. If that ball even just gets down, it allows Campbell to advance, and all of a sudden the at-bat changes. Now Sutherland's got to bear down against a tough righty.
Sutherland hit a pair of homers in round 1 here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. The last of which went halfway up the light tower in right field. Maestri comes set. Sutherland sends it high and deep to left field. The ballpark will hold it as it sends D'Antonio back to the warning track. Playing it smartly is the runner at second, Campbell. He goes from second to third, and he is 90 feet away from the first run of the game.
And we just talked about that right there. So how big that line drive out was to second base. If he does able to get the ball the right side, that's a sacrifice fly, and we've got a 1-0 ball game. So now Lutzy's got to bear down in the situation with 2 outs and a man on third base.
Lutzy's driven in 3, but batting just 136 through 7 games. Gets the start at DH again tonight. Maestri's first pitch misses, low, ball 1. Campbell doubled to the warning track in left center. Bennett a line drive out. Caught by the diving second baseman Dwayne Kemp. Sutherland just missed a home run to the opposite field. And now a hitter's count for Donald Lutz. This is a situation for a slumping hitter where you're looking dead red. He looked dead red, and that ball is not coming back. Donald Lutz with a tape measure shot to right center field. Campbell didn't even move. It's 2-0 Bandits.
Wow, I tell you what, we've seen Lutzy hit some impressive home runs, and that's probably one of the longest home runs we've seen him hit in a long time.
Empire Jerky home run. Empire Jerky now available at the ballpark, and here's the replay. That's the type of pitch you like to get on 2-0.
It is, and you mentioned right there it's a 2-0 count. I'm really surprised that he worked in the middle of the plate right there and challenged Lutzy in this ballpark. Didn't matter what ballpark he hit that one in. That was a long ways. But
first pitch swinging is Shu Ji Hung. He sends it on the ground towards first, and covering is Maestri. But the Bandits make a statement in the first inning of this pivotal round 3 series. Donald Lutz with a 2-run homer. And that is the lead as we go to the second.
careful. Out there, champ.
How good is this?
Two 0 Brisbane as we go to the top of the second inning. Blue Sox trying to answer quite the blast from Donald Lutz. A long home run that I think it's the longest one we've seen so far this year.
Yeah, we have, and it was really surprising, you know, Maestri knowing who Lutzy is. They've obviously known each other from their professional careers to give in to the hitter of his caliber, but he did, and Lutzy did make him pay in that at-bat. So Bandits have done what we talked about, the transition from Auckland back home, and they've quickly jumped on the board 2-0 here in the second.
6, 7, and 8 due up for the Blue Sox in the second. Shepard, Campbell, and Shen. Ball one misses inside. We saw this a couple times round one against Adelaide. A pitcher can really settle down when they are handed an early lead like this.
It really can, and that's what's always worked to Brisbane's advantage is this ballpark, is that offensively the guys really do their job, and the pitchers have really adjusted. They know the conditions here, so they know they've got to stay down in the zone and work ahead in the count. So it's actually conditioned them to be better and more effective pitchers even when they go on the road.
2-0 strike, and that's the most important thing here. When you are handed a lead, you got to throw strikes. You
have to, and especially in this ballpark. We've seen a lot of guys get in trouble because they make mistakes because they fall behind and they force themselves to throw fastballs in those hitting counts, and guys take the advantage of that, and they can make mistakes and do damage with mistakes.
Shepard in the Detroit Tigers organization.
Here's one of the bright futures of Australian baseball right here. This young man, he's got a lot of talent, a lot of tools, and he's a guy that when you talk about the national program and guys that have the ability to help this team, or when I say this team, Team Australia, advance to a top 5 in the world, this is one of the young men that has the opportunity to help that come true for Team Australia moving forward.
Another 2-2. Shepard takes just low. That's a close pitch to take, and the count runs full with Michael Campbell waiting on deck.
And that's where you do want to miss. You know, you talk about you put yourself in a good count 2-2, and for Zach to lay off that pitch, that's good discipline at the plate, but that's a quality pitch by Sam.
Payoff pitch. Shepard early sends it foul. That is a ConocoPhillips foul ball that rolled right over the ConocoPhillips logo painted on the third base side. Another 3-2. Another foul. This one getting into the Sydney dugout.
Good at bat right here and good battle, and these two guys, like I said, they know each other. They've competed for a number of time, and I like what I'm seeing from Sammy early on in this. Even in his 3-2 count, he's giving him two separate looks because he's got confidence in both of his pitches. And like I said, right now he's not trying to do too much. He's still trying to pitch to ground ball contact.
Shepard battling. Holland delivers. Ball 4. A well-earned walk to start the second. Blue Sox will bring the tying run to the plate. Second walk for Holland. He also gave a free pass to Trent D'Antonio with 2 down in the first. Here's Michael Campbell. Left-handed hitting right fielder. Batting .375 on the year. No homers, 3 runs batted in. Missing outside. Shepard takes his lead at first. There's a called strike on the inside corner.
Just looking at Shepard, 32 years of age, and he's come off a fantastic road trip, and he's hitting at a 375 clip. So currently 9 hits for 24 at bat. So probably a really good start from a guy they probably didn't expect a lot early. It's great to see he's producing for this offensive ball club.
Chase is up and away, and the count is 1-2. Paul Latta calling balls and strikes behind home plate. James Shields at first, and crew chief Mal Mackay is at third. And the umpires getting in on the act on Alpha H Ladies Night as well, donning the pink polos. 2-2.
Great initiative, obviously, with the McGraw Foundation, and obviously great to have the partnership with Alpha H this year. And once again, a unique night with Ladies Night, so we've got quite a turnout in this Friday night game.
Lifted in the air, down the left field line. Long run for Nielsen. He makes a sliding attempt, but catches it on one hop, foul ball. Just missing outside. Holland trying to test the limits of the strike zone, and that's something that most pitchers like to do early, but can't imagine Holland is pleased with the early returns.
No, he's not. And that's what he's doing his job, particularly the catcher right there. He's trying to find out, am I get any leniency on that outer half?
3-2 right back to Holland. He throws wide to second, and they almost get the out at first, but instead of 2 outs, the Bandits don't get any. First and second to start the second for the Blue Sox.
Yeah, tough play right there, and Sammy did exactly what he knew he needed to do in that situation. He induced the ground ball, came up firing to second base, but didn't have a target to go to, so he threw in between. And probably the best thing that we've always been taught, throw to the bag and force someone to get to the bag. Unfortunately, nobody was able to convert the out. Now Sam's and the Bandits are in a tough situation with first and second.
Should be a fielder's choice E1. Shen Hao Wei coming in. Batting .240, no homers, 2 runs batted in. Played in the CPBL. First pitch from Holland. Check swing and a strike. It remains to be seen whether Sydney can capitalize on this opportunity, but this is what first place teams do. They get right back in the ball game after being dealt a blow. Right back to Holland, another try. This time an on-target throw to second, and the throw to first is skipped to the net. A run will score, and Sydney is on the board. This time Holland made the throw just fine, but the relay onto first was off target, and Sutherland couldn't scoop it.
Yeah, it's soft ground ball again to the pitcher, comes up firing to second base, and oddly in that situation, you had the second baseman covering and ended up making the throw to first base, and just short hop Sutherland, who wasn't able to come up with a tough throw, so allows a run to score, and now makes it 2-1 here in the second inning. And like you said earlier, first place teams do capitalize on opportunities, and the Blue Sox just did that.
Shen will reach on a fielder's choice. Shepard goes from second all the way to home, in part because of an error, E4. Second error of the inning, and here's the 9th place batter, DH Alex Howe. Called strike.
We always talk about ball games and momentum changers. You know, when offensively you pick up a 2 spot, and then if you can quickly put a 0 on the board, you put more offensive pressure on teams. Now all of a sudden, Blue Sox will be able to chip away at that lead and get themselves back into this ball game.
Shen back at first. We are a bit behind on the game day, but right now, Holland is not being charged with an error on his throw to second a few plays ago. We'll see if that has changed or if that is just a mistake. in the programming. Blue Sox have answered back with at least one here in the second inning. The 0-1, missing low and away.
This situation right here, what we've got to see is where Sammy just needs to keep his composure. He's actually got 2 ground balls back at him and only conceded the 1 out. So got to really go back to doing what he's done and stay down in the zone and stay within himself.
Howe pops it up our way, out of play. I'd like to extend a welcome to the All-Stars Baseball Club, part of the pregame festivities tonight. And yet again, a good crowd on hand to see the Bandits at their home field. This is a fun team to watch. And if you're watching us right now, you must agree with us. Doubleheader tomorrow. Then a matinee on Sunday to wrap things up. That'll be on ABL.TV. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and the throw down to second on a hop is not in time. Swinging strikeout for out number 2. But in the process, Shen takes second base. Skyfleet Hino strikeout, the second of the game for Sam Holland.
Yeah, really good job once again by the Blue Sox of putting pressure on the Bandits tonight. So really aggressive in that situation. Even though they got the strikeout, now they've got number 9 hole, top of the order up with a chance to tie this ball game with 1 swing.
Lineup turns over for Dwayne Kemp. Grounded to short to start the ball game, but he made an excellent defensive play, moving towards his left at second base. Called strike begins the at-bat. Shen with good speed at second. Will try and score on a base hit to the outfield. Nice stop by De La Calle behind home plate to keep that pitch in front of him. Holland with a look towards second. Kemp sends it in the air towards right, but charging and leaping is Dutton, who makes the catch for out number 3. Blue Sox take advantage of a couple defensive miscues from the Bandits, and they get one back as we go to the bottom of the second. 2-1 Brisbane on Bandits.tv.
team, communication is key, both on and off the field.
Good afternoon, One Hub Group. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'm chasing a new phone. Okay. Okay, great.
One Hub gives us dedicated account management for all our technology. Having one point of contact makes a massive difference and lets us focus on what we do best.
Riley Unroe A Bandit from long ago makes his return to Brisbane. Just flew in yesterday. He takes a called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, it's great to have him back in the Bandits uniform, and he had a fantastic year for the Bandits when he was here. Good pedigree. Dad played with the Milwaukee Brewers organization, played with David, and played all in the big leagues with them. And obviously, the biggest thing for him now is just making the adjustment from being at home in a winter, all of a sudden coming back here and adjusting to pitching.
Gone on 3 strikes. It'll require a throw, but the catcher Murphy does that with ease. 1 up, 1 down for Maestri, who picks up his first strikeout of the game. Just briefly on Unruh before he retreats to the dugout. He played for the Bandits in 2015-2016. Spent the last year in the Angels organization, getting his first taste of AAA in Salt Lake, and we'll have more on Unruh as the broadcast goes along. Here's Wade Dutton, moved out to right field with the acquisition of Unruh. Unruh figures to play some second, some short. Play all over the infield, and he also played in 2 outfield positions this year in the Angels organization. Dutton takes a called strike. Laying off the slow breaking pitch, the count is 1-1. The easiest line to follow in the acquisition of Unruh is the injury to Logan Wade. There's a ball bounced fair down the third base line. Picked up by D'Antonio, and a big turnaround first for Dutton. He'll be content with a 1-out single. But Wade, if he had been healthy, and we hope to have him back soon, if he had been healthy now, he would be playing every day at shortstop. I don't think Unruh is going to play every day at shortstop, in part because T.J. Bennett has done such an excellent job there since filling that gap.
Yeah, look, and I don't think, knowing David as a manager and knowing his baseball mind, he's not going to put pressure on a guy that just landed, in a key position, so he can slowly let him transition as he gets more work over the coming weeks. But if he wants to take pressure off TJ, he has that flexibility. They can swap those 2 guys as he gets more ground ball work throughout the year.
Here's Daniel Nielsen taking ball 1. Maestri bounces 1 in the dirt.
In a positive news, got a chance to talk to Logan a few days ago, so he's progressing really well in his rehab. So good news is there was no surgery required. Now it's just a rehab stint, and then he'll be back ready to go. But now that David's got reinforcements in town, it'll allow him to make sure he heals properly so he can have the impact he needs for the back half of this year.
Maestri's 2-1, a foul tip into the mid of the catcher Murphy, 2-2. Just some housekeeping from the top of the second inning. Right now it's in the books as just 1 error, so no throwing error on Holland, advancing Shepard from first to second on what was a fielder's choice. There is 1 error on Unruh, however, and there's a strikeout again. Second of the inning for Maestri, getting Nielsen for out number 2.
And that looks like that split finger, whatever he's developed in Asia. I got a chance to talk to a pitching coach for the Blue Sox earlier in the ball game, and he said we're just going to go ahead and classify that as a split finger, but he said it does dance and it's very unpredictable, but same arm action as the fastball, so that really seems to be his now go-to pitch with 2 strikes.
Here's Danny De La Calle. Big swing and a miss on the first offering from Maestri. The run in the top of the second, charge to Holland, is unearned because of the Unruh error. De La Calle off to a hot start with the bat. He checks his swing, and it's 1-1. Belt high strike, it's 1-2.
Shows the depth of the Bandits. You've got Delicaye, actually, like you said, coming off to a hard start. He's hitting at the 350 mark right now, so having him hitting in a 9-hole.
4 extra base hits, 3 doubles and a homer for the catcher originally out of Cuba. De La Calle and Unruh Former teammates in the Tampa Bay Rays organization are rooming together. And Maestri strikes out the side, working around the one-out single to put up a 0 in the second inning. We go to the third, and so far this matchup has been as advertised. 2-1 Brisbane on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots.
But no matter what, Enterprise can help.
You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature.
Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car.
Commute in a van pool.
Or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future.
How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Welcome back to One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Bandits sending the top of their order in the third. Beg your pardon, the Blue Sox sending 2, 3, and 4 in the third, beginning with Gift and Gope against Sam Holland. Holland had the defense fail him in the second inning. He made an errant throw. A couple infielders were unable to cover what could have been a double play ball, and then they got one out when they could have gotten two. It led to a Blue Sox run. We'll see how the tall righty responds here, facing 2, 3, and 4 in the Blue Sox order.
Yeah, and he's done his job. We talked about earlier in the piece is everything works down in the zone. So two-seamer works down, slider works down and away to righties and down and in on lefties. So he's got a chance to get his ground balls, but unfortunately that one inning was able to capitalize on that double play, and obviously the Blue Sox did, now making 2-1 ball game. So second time around the order now, guys start making adjustments, and now we're at the heart of this Blue Sox order now.
Gift and Gope hit a hard one-hopper back to Holland that glanced off the pitcher's glove for an infield single in the first. Ball followed by a strike, and it's 1-1. Holland has needed 47 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. That's not quite the number that you're looking for. 1-1 lifted foul out of play. Just one hit so far for the Blue Sox. Holland has struck out 2 and walked 2, and another foul ball as Ngope hangs tough. Sun beginning to set down the right field line. Yet another gorgeous evening in Brisbane. The 1-2, low and away. I'm sure these Bandits players don't mind getting back here where the weather is a bit more stable than it is in New Zealand. Auckland is going to have their hands full with some volatile weather this time of year, regardless of where or when they play. That's just a fact of life down there.
It is, but I tell you what, credit to that organization.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Holland, another Sky Filipino strikeout. That's a big first out in the third.
But going back to the Auckland story, I think it's fantastic. Obviously, first year in the Australian Baseball League, and got a chance to watch that broadcast on the weekend, and the field presented extremely well. They hosted a great weekend, and what a good outcome for this inaugural team, winning 2 of 3 ball games. So really a storybook tale for that organization to come home in their opener against the 3-time champions and win 2 out of 3.
Jacob Eunice, who struck out his first time, takes inside. Just missing the outside corner. De La Calle wonders where it was. It's 2-0.
One thing I've seen with Sam, it looks like he's gone up a gear. So earlier on, he was really almost like he was pitching more in himself, and all of a sudden now he's got a little bit more velocity, so you can see the hitters are reacting a little bit differently to the pitches.
Eunice fouls one over the screen. You don't like to see your own team lose, but if the Bandits were going to have to lose in Auckland, that was a really nice moment for the Tuatara to start their home schedule with a walk-off win.
I agree. I mean, you never want to see your home team lose, but for an organization that it's the first year and obviously their early proving grounds, I think they did a fantastic job, and they showed they can compete in the ABL, and I think they're going to be a contender this year.
2-1 lace to third, Shoe Fields, and an on-target throw to first retires Eunice for the second out. There's a hot smash to third. Shoe staggered a bit as we take a look at the Suki Bowl replay. But as soon as he got the ball in his hand, it was over.
Yeah, really good play. We get a chance to see it here in the replay. And a good job of just staying with it and didn't panic in that situation. Came up far, threw a strike for the second out of the game.
Auckland comes here to begin the 2019 portion of the schedule, taking on the Bandits in what is now a 5-game series, beginning on January 3rd. That one laced foul. Just a bit early was Trent D'Antonio as he sends it down the first base line. Tuatara and Bandits were only able to play 3 games, so that game will be made up when Auckland comes our way. D'Antonio walked his first time up. Almost in the hole, 0-2, but that next pitch called a ball. It's 1-1 instead. Called strike, it's 1-2. Holland looking for his first 1-2-3 inning, and if he can get it on this pitch or in a couple pitches, the pitch count will look a lot better, currently at 59. One-two in on the hands, trickled foul down the third base line.
I really like that pitch sequence right there, and ran and showed him away, and then with 2 strikes ran the ball in on his hands and just tied him up. So that really opens up the outer half if he wants to, or he can come back and see if he can double up on the inner half and see if he can tie him up for ground ball.
Holland's 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. A pair of strikeouts in a 1-2-3 third inning. Another Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Sam Holland, and that is the inning that he needed after a trying first 2 frames. Bandits look to extend their 2-1 lead when we come back. You're watching Bandits.tv.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Top of the lineup, due up for the Bandits against Alex Maestri in the third inning. Andrew Campbell led off the game with a double. He'll try and make it a 2-for-2 start to his evening as the Bandits try to extend their 2-1 lead. With Paul Gonzalez, Eric Bramer with you at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. The Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits hope that they have seen the 500 mark for the last time this year. They won the final game of their Auckland series last weekend to improve to 4-3. And with the home field advantage here against the first-place Sydney Blue Sox, they hope to, at the very least, split the series, but they'd really like to win it 3-1 and open up a little bit of a lead in the division. First pitch misses inside to Campbell, and he plays jump rope, avoiding the hit by pitch.
Yeah, I don't know how he dodged that, but he's able to miss that inner half. But I do agree. I mean, every time David takes the field with this ball club, the goal is to win the series, and the worst case, a 3-1. But this is a different offensive ball club. This is a different defensive ball club this year from the Sydney Blue Sox, and obviously a completely different makeup on the mound as well.
Campbell drives it in the air, center field, a few steps back, now in is Shen. And that's out number one. Campbell just got underneath that offering from Maestri.
But when I look at this ball club on the field, you're starting to see some of their veteran guys are now starting to really hit their maturity as far as at the plate and defensively. And with the additions of Gift, Murph, and like even Maestri as well, it does have a different vibe. Exactly what Tony was mentioning as well. It's a good clubhouse culture this year, and you can see it on the field as well.
TJ Bennett was robbed of a base hit his first time up, sending a hard liner to the second baseman, Dwayne Kemp. Check swing, the appeal down to third, and Bennett did not go around. Bennett batting .250 on the year. 1 homer, 7 runs batted in. Bennett cracks it to right field. That's down for a hit. High hop is covered by Campbell. It will be a single for Bennett, who has seen the ball really well out of the hand of Maestri, to say the least. 1 for 2, and he probably should be 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 at-bats. First at-bat, mentioned he hit the ball hard to second base. It was caught and actually prevented the runner from advancing, but that time he got a pitch up in the zone and drove into right field for a base hit to right.
David Sutherland almost hit a home run to the opposite field his first time up. Sent it out near the warning track in left center. A fly out to left. Sutherland takes up and away ball 1. Another reminder that the pink jerseys worn by the Bandits tonight as part of Alpha H Ladies Night will be autographed and auctioned online next week to benefit the McGrath Foundation for Breast Cancer Research. Pitch misses up and away. Off was Bennett, and he is out. May have been a hit and run there, Paul.
Yeah, it looks like either a missed sign, because it didn't look like he was a straight steal, so it didn't get a great jump off Maestri, and good throw by Murphy to throw him out at second base for out number 2, and really takes that runner off first base and now prevents him from using that hole on the right side. So now he's got a battle with nobody on and 2 outs.
Sutherland with a check swing, 3-0, with the dangerous Donald Lutz waiting on deck. Sutherland got the green light, and a check swing brings the count to 3-1. It's also a tone-setting caught stealing, too. At the beginning of a series, if the catcher can throw out that first guy, that just puts it in the heads of the opposition. As the count is now 3-2.
No, it does, and it's a test on both ways. How quickly is Maestri working from the stretch, and obviously he showed he was quick home, and B is, can Murphy get rid of and transfer the baseball? Wow.
Here's a drive to deep right field. It's another home run for David Sutherland. 3 home runs on the year for Goofy, and they have all been no-doubters. Another Empire Jerky home run. And a wave to the fans down the third base line for the affable first baseman of the Bandits. Second homer of the night for the Bandits. Donald Lutz hit one, and we take a look at the Suki Bowl replay. Another hitter's count and more damage from the bats of the Bandits.
Yeah, 2 big. One got a pitch down and in, and obviously that's the no-go zone to lefties, and he shot the ball over the right field fence for a solo shot.
Here's Lutz sending one in on the hands to shallow center. Not quite the first hit, of Lutz back in the first, but it counts almost the same. Chip shot single, and it's the third hit of the inning for Brisbane.
The real big thing we talked about was the caught stealing. All of a sudden, you potentially look at a 2-run shot. Not that still early in the ball game, so hopefully it doesn't play a factor, but good job of hitting by Southern in a situation. And the wave, I believe, would have been to his wife in the they had the Women's Day sponsored by Alpha H tonight, so probably a little wave to the ladies in the corporate section tonight.
Shu Ji-hung swings and misses. Here's a guy the Bandits would love to get going. Saw his potential in the exhibition series, but batting .217 so far in the regular season, 0 for 1 so far today. Drop down in the order to 5th. Had been batting 3rd at the beginning of the season. Time called. Lutz at first, not a threat to steal. Shu with an ugly swing was fooled. It's now 1-2.
A good pitch right there, and just looked like he caught him off. And you're right, not a great swing. So obviously that may have been that pitch. He comes out of the hand, looks like a fastball, and maybe it been that split finger fastball and just get him on an awkward swing.
Shu takes this one. It's a ball up and away. Count 2-2. Bandits have scored all 3 of their runs on home runs. Donald Lutz with a 2-run shot in the first. David Sutherland just moments ago with a long solo blast to right field in the third. Shu with a high fly ball to left field. D'Antonio back. It's playable. And he makes... No, he drops the ball and it lands on the warning track. With 2 down, Lutz was off on contact. And it will be a 3-bagger for Shu Ji-hung. Bandits made a defensive mistake in the second inning, and Sydney now cost themselves at least 1 run, extending the inning. Shu just missed a home run, and he finds himself at third base anyway.
Yeah, really tough play. Left fielder went back. It looked like he was camped on it, and all of a sudden just over his head, and good hustle by Lutz on contact. We get a chance to see the ball right here. So ball's hit high in the air. Left fielder made a good run to get under it, but then lost it the last second, and that ball now goes to the wall and allows the runner to advance to third, and now making it a 4-1 ball game here in the third inning.
Time called as Murphy wants to talk it over with Maestri.
We talked about it earlier. You talked about capitalizing on opportunities, and once again, the Bandits were able to capitalize on that mistake. You know, will that play a factor? We talk about pitch counts. Both Sam Holland and Maestri pitch counts are fairly high, which means they may force both clubs to go to their bullpen early.
4-1, the Bandits now lead. Riley Unroe takes a called strike. It's 0-2. Unroe this year with AA Mobile in the Angels organization drove in a career-high 42 runs, batted .226 with 4 homers. And just as the pitch is delivered, time is called. Wasn't caught by Murphy, but Shu, after a few hard steps home, realized that the pitch didn't count. In his year 20 season, Unroe had an outstanding year for the Bandits in 15-16. He batted .318 in 55 games with a team-leading 3 triples and 14 stolen bases. Struck out his first time up, and he just gets a piece of the 0-2 offering. No RBI for Shu. It'll go as a 3-base error, scoring Lutz from first. Waiting on that official ruling. And the count is now 1-2. Unruh, a switch hitter. Just arrived in Australia yesterday. Unruh connects and sends it in the air towards right, but this time the outfielder Campbell is able to catch it for out number 3. Bandits score a pair in the third, 1 earned and 1 unearned. Sutherland with a home run, Lutz with a single, and Shu Chi-hung reaching on a 3-base error that should have been the third out. 4-1 Brisbane as we go to the fourth on Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
Game 1 of a big 4-game series between the Sydney Blue Sox and the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. So far, the Bandits have been the better team. They lead it 4-1 as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you on a gorgeous night for baseball in Brisbane. First pitch temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Blue Sox, beginning with Jack Murphy. Switch hitting catcher begins his second at bat after fouling out to third to end the first inning.
I think Jack's been a great acquisition this year. What he brings more than anything is his leadership, and I think that's one of the big things the organization did, is once you can solidify your backstop, which Jack does, he brings a presence back there, both on the field, behind the plate, and in the batter's box. But his leadership is going to be key for this organization.
Count is 0-2. Almost strike 3 there. Sam's been very, very close to the edges of the strike zone.
And to his credit, he's just asking right there to
over or down.
Yeah, am I over or down? Because I'm just so he can make his adjustments from his side.
Hand gesture from the rubber to the home plate umpire, Paul Latta.
And the main thing is, what I really like by Sam right there is he didn't get flustered, just asked the question, then gets back on and the job at hand.
Murphy sends it high in the air, deep towards left field. Nielsen tracking it, and he tracks it down. On the warning track, a waist-high catch. Looked like he may have had trouble with the lights as that ball re-emerged closer to the playing field as well. We saw D'Antonio lose one in the bottom half of the third inning. This time of night, it can be tough for an outfielder.
It is that it's not completely dark, so it's twilight out there, but a good job of tracking that ball down and coming up with a big out, and that's a tough out on a hard hit ball by Murphy. So 1 out for the Bandits here in the 4th, and that's what you want, particularly against a tough hitter like Jack Murphy.
Now Zach Shepard fought his way to a leadoff walk in the second inning. Took second on a fielder's choice that could have been an error, and then scored from second on what was ruled an error, a throwing error by the second baseman, Riley Unruh. 1-0 just misses the inside corner.
The one thing I like is everything's down, and when we talk about when he's effective is I notice when he tends to overthrow, the ball starts to elevate up and he gets himself in trouble, but he's still missing down in the zone, which tells me he's throwing within himself.
3-0 count, and pitch number 70 prompts some stirring in the Bandits bullpen. Missing low, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Second free pass of the game given to Shepard. Third overall for Holland, and he does not need that.
No, and I think this is where you watch the bullpen, like you said, just start to heat up. This is probably as deep as he's gone in a ball game. Typically, he comes out of the bullpen in a setup type middle relief role. So David's made a transition in making the starter. So see how he goes, how deep he lets him go in his pitch count tonight.
Here's Michael Campbell, reached on a fielder's choice, a comebacker to Holland. Holland's throw to second was offline and kind of in between the two infielders converging. Holland slings it towards the plate, and Campbell shoots it out to left field for a base hit. Nielsen waited back on it to play the first hop. A walk, now a single. The Blue Sox have the tying run coming to the plate in the form of Shen Hao Wei.
So once again, right there, ball up in the zone, and good job of hitting right there, not trying to do too much, and shoots in left. So that'll bring Jim Bennett out for just a quick discussion with Sammy and just maybe slow things down and allow the bullpen to start to heat up a little bit.
It is only the second hit of the game for the Blue Sox. Both of them have been singles. But Holland has had to earn every single out that he has gotten. Take a look at the scoreboard around the ABL. A final from earlier, Auckland hosting Canberra, and the Cavalry beat the Tuatara by a score of 6-2. Bottom of the fourth in Melbourne, 2-0 Aces leading Geelong Korea in what is a geographic rivalry and may turn into a real rivalry as the season rolls along. Finally in Adelaide, scoreless in the bottom of the first between the Bite and the Perth Heat. Shen Hao Wei reached on a fielder's choice his first time up, then stole second base. He takes another close pitch for a ball, 1-0. Shen, the family name, comes first in his preferred pronunciation. There's a called strike.
This is where Sammy really needs to induce that ground ball. If he can find a way to get a 2-ball and get himself out, David probably will make a decision seeing where his pitch count is. But he's got Ryan Searle in the bullpen now, who's obviously been the starter in the first two series. Now he's got him back in a relief role.
Shen serves it into right field, down for a base hit. Charging is Dutton. His throw to the cutoff man will keep the bases loaded and keep Shepard at third base. Well played in the smart play, getting it into the cutoff man and making sure that the base runners couldn't run free.
And a really good job by Shen shooting that ball to right field. Didn't try to do too much with the baseball. Stayed within himself, shot the ball. Now the Blue Sox threaten here with bases loaded and 1 out.
Manager Dave Nielsen looking down towards the pen, looking for a sign. Ryan Searle, as you said, started the first 2 rounds. Back in the bullpen, at least for now, where he has been for the last few ABL seasons. But once you get into that starting role and you begin to prepare yourself as a starter, sometimes it can take a little bit longer to warm up and get ready for game action. Alex House wins the first offering, sends it off the net above the Bandits' dugout.
One of the things with the positive with Surly is that, you know, for the last few years he's been the closer and the primary closer for the Bandits. So for him to heat up in short notice, this is not new territory. Plus these situations aren't new. So interesting to see. You've got top of the order coming up after this if he does make a change, if Sam gets into trouble.
Called strike, and it's 0-2. Holland does have 4 strikeouts through 3 1/3. He could really use one here. Infield playing back, corners back as well. Third baseman Shu is about even with the base. But they'll try for the double play if they get a chance. The 0-2 is sent in the air towards center field. Campbell has it measured, setting up for a throw. He catches and throws all the way to the plate. It's offline, but Shepard doesn't even test the arm. Nice catch and nice throw by Campbell. Blue Sox record out number 2 without recording a run, and it will be left to the leadoff man, Dwayne Kemp.
Good job by Sammy right there. Got ahead in the count, got a fly ball to center field, and good job by Campbell getting behind the ball, able to make a strong throw to home and prevent Shepard from scoring on the sacrifice or the potential sacrifice fly.
Holland up to 77 pitches, 47 strikes, 30 balls. Kemp is 0 for 2 with a grounder to short and a line out to right. Shepard at third, Campbell at second, Shen at first. And the first pitch almost goes to the backstop. Danny De La Calle moving towards his right, keeps the ball corralled.
This to me right here is as a former player, and if I'm not up here, this is where the nail body moment is. I think to me this is a game-changing moment for Sammy. He's got to really bear down and try to get this hitter out to prevent any damage and hold that 4-run lead.
Kemp with a broken bat grounder towards third, and Shu goes the short way where Unruh awaits for a close play and out number 3 at second base. Business end of that bat went farther than the ball. Foul territory down the third base line, but the Blue Sox leave the bases loaded, and Holland comes up with the big third out. Another look at the Suki Bowl replay. That is a big dodged bullet for the Bandits, and they retain their 4-1 lead going to the bottom of the 4th.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits lead the Sydney Blue Sox by a score of 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning in Brisbane. Bottom third of the Bandits lineup, Dutton, Nielsen, and De La Calle set to face Alex Maestri, who has one unearned run on his ledger, but a pair of long home runs as well. Bandits with 4 runs on 6 hits. They've only left 2 men on base, and that is the big difference in the last 7 games, the first 7 games of the year, as we see another good crowd here at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. Bandits offense has gotten plenty of base runners on, but they're not a station-to-station team. That's not the way they are built. They are all or nothing, and they've had a lot of ducks left on the pond, so to speak, Paul, through the first 2 weeks of the season.
They really have, and I think it shows how strong this offense is they really haven't put it all together offensively, and they're still trying to find their timing and their rhythm, but overall they're finding ways to generate offense, and obviously having the big bats, being able to drop a few bombs in those innings is put him in good position. But Maestri's actually thrown the ball extremely well. He's made 2 mistakes in hitting count, and that's really the only difference in this ball game tonight.
Wade Dutton singled his first time up. He now faces a 1-2 count. Maestri with 54 pitches thrown. And pitch number 55 gets a swinging strikeout of Dutton to begin the 4th inning.
Once again, we talk about, the effectiveness. He's really settled in, and with the exception of the mistakes he's made tonight, he's been very, very effective for the Blue Sox. We look at the last inning, bases loaded and 1 out, weren't able to capitalize. Let's say they generate 1 or 2 runs. You're only a 4-2 ball game, and now we're still at 4-1, so he's still got to work here in the 4th inning.
Daniel Nielsen takes a called strike. Nielsen, a strikeout victim his first time up. One of 3 strikeouts in a near spotless second inning for Maestri. Nielsen sends it into shallow center. Shen coming on. He'll have to play it on one hop. Another single for the Bandits, and it's been feast or famine with the base hits. They either go about 470 feet or they're in on the hands and they just find the outfield like that. Any way you can get it, especially with the offense struggling at this point in the season, you'll take it.
Absolutely, and like I said, we look at the caliber of pitchers that we've seen so far. Once again, from South Australia, had another outstanding outing by that young man from Germany, and you know, Maestri's throwing the ball extremely well. When we look at the caliber of pitching, hence why you don't see a lot of hard hit balls, because these guys are really good with their location, and when they work ahead, they have the ability to throw that tough split finger in those counts, and been very effective to date.
Danny De La Caille takes a called strike, and Marcus Solbach shut down the Bandits round 1, and last night he backed it up with another impressive performance, leader in the clubhouse for pitcher of the week in the ABL. De La Caille with a big swing and a miss. It's 0-2. A 3-pitch strikeout for Alex Maestri of Danny De La Caille. Second time he has gotten the Bandits backstop, and the second strikeout of the inning as well.
Yeah, I tell you what, De La Caille is not really seeing him well tonight. You can always tell when a guy's not locked in, because he seems to be really fooled by everything he throws. So potentially he's picking him up late and not able to make those early adjustments. So he's been very effective against De La Caille tonight.
Nielsen checked back at first. Andrew Campbell steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Double to left center in the first, a fly out to center in the third. Campbell hits it hard on the ground towards short, bobbled by Ngope, and as a result he has to throw all the way to first, where he gets Campbell by a half step for out number 3. It's a veteran move from Gift Ngope, making the mistake but recovering in time to get the out and get his team off the field. Bandits do not score in the 4th, and we go to the 5th here in Brisbane. 4-1 our score on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots.
But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip.
Look, kids, nature.
Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car.
Commute in a van pool.
Or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future.
How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Sam Holland is done after 4 innings, and this is an Alderley higher pitching change made by Jim Bennett and Dave Nielsen. Ryan Searle, who started the first 2 rounds of the year, comes out of the bullpen and has an opportunity to pick up the win if he pitches effectively. Holland went 4 innings, allowing 3 hits and 1 unearned run, walking 3 and striking out 4. He did not complete 5, so he doesn't pick up the win, but he pitched well enough tonight to give his team a chance to win.
He pitched outstanding. The only blemish really was the mix-up at second on the double play, but overall you got to be happy for the Bandits organization. And we talk about team approach, and that right there probably could have gone another inning, but David probably looked at his pitch count, his situation, and said, no, you've done a good job, Sammy. Have a seat and let the boys take over from here.
Season ERA for Holland now below 1 at 0.96. Ryan Searle's ERA at 6.55, 0-1 on the season. In 11 innings, he has struck out 12, but he has allowed almost a walk or hit and a half per inning, the whip at 1.55. Called strike begins the at-bat to Gift and Gope, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Searle shakes off De La Calle a few times. Now comes set. Just missing low, 1-1. Sam Holland did not have a very generous strike zone and not a good start for Ryan Searle with Paul Latta either. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, good pitch, but one thing is Latta's been really consistent tonight, so he's not giving that little bit of outer edge, so now he's got to continue to make quality pitches in good locations.
And it has been an even strike zone for both teams, so can't complain about that. And Gope turned away on an inside offering. It's 2-1.
It just looks like that slider backed up on him and came out of the strike zone right there, so now just have to make an adjustment in a hitting count 2-1 to a very tough hitter.
And Gope getting major league time in each of the last 2 seasons. Turned away, and he can't believe that was a called strike. That was the same breaking pitch that broke this time.
And that's the difference between, the effectiveness of a pitch. One backed up on him and the other one able to come back and catch, obviously, the inner half. So now he's got himself back in the at-bat, his 2-2 count.
Check swing, and Ngope lays off the pitch in the dirt. 3-2 with Jacob Eunice on deck. After that, it's Trent D'Antonio. Payoff pitch. Just missing the inside corner, a leadoff walk for Gift and Gope. And De La Calle takes a little extra time getting that ball back to Searle, who missed just by a hair on a couple of those pitches in his first at-bat of the ballgame. Searle started in indie ball this year. He has pitched in various different roles over his long career. Here's Jacob Eunice. Swinging strike 1. Had Eunice down as the second baseman. That's why I erroneously described him as a Dutch player. But you are right, he is of Australia. Apologies to the Eunice family if they're tuning in. Is Dwayne Kemp representing the Netherlands. Inside pitch hits Eunice on the hip. And a pair of base runners start the 5th inning, and the outing of Ryan Searle. That'll bring up Trent D'Antonio, the cleanup hitter.
Just trying to see if I can see the replay here, if it was a fastball or a breaking ball that got away. So it didn't look like, it just looked like a two-seamer that ran back into the hitter and caught him on the hip. So hopefully he'll be okay. But once again, the Blue Sox continue to put pressure on the Bandits with man on first and second and nobody out here in the 5th in a 4-1 ball game.
Right in between the hip and the small of the back there. Here's Trent D'Antonio missing inside. I'm not an anatomy major, but isn't that about where like the scapula is? Does that sound right to you?
No.
No? Oh.
So you got lower lumbar and then it works up to the thoracic, and then and then
that's why I ask you. Here's the 1-0. Called strike.
I think my second year of uni, you had to take a science course, so I decided to take anatomy and physiology and thought that would be a good idea until you get to green breaks.
Scapula's up by the shoulder blade. So I was in the...
You were in the vicinity. You're probably more pelvic crest area, pelvic crest / lower lumbar area. if you're going into the muscular, you're probably going into the gluteus maximus. Just
all right, stop showing off. Ngope at second, Eunice at first. D'Antonio at the plate in a 1-1 count. Just missing, it's 2-1. Searle with a little extra look in there. 10 pitches, just 4 strikes for the righty.
Yeah, you'll have to really bear down, because now we start getting into really the heart of this order, and so got to really try to get the ball down in the zone and see if he can get a ground ball.
D'Antonio takes up and away, 3-1. Jack Murphy waiting on deck. No action in the Brisbane bullpen. Looks like this is Searle's inning. A check of Ngope, the 3-1. Missing low and away, a 5-pitch walk. Blue Sox have loaded the bases with nobody out without the benefit of a base hit. A walk, a hit by pitch, and now a walk, and Jack Murphy steps to the plate representing the go-ahead run. Murphy 0 for 2. Left 2 men on in the first with an inning-ending foul pop to third and struck out swinging to end the third. Beg your pardon, a fly out to left to begin the fourth for Murphy.
Yeah, it wasn't just a fly out too. We're talking about, hit the ball really hard to left. So when we talk about a guy that came to this organization to do some damage, and this is the exact same situation that I was talking about, an opportunity to put his ball club back in this game with 1 swing of the bat.
With a 3-run lead, the Bandits infield plays at double play depth. Called strike. That's a good start.
Good pitch by Sully right there, so he didn't give in that situation, just gave him a different look, and first pitch strike is so critical, particularly with your secondary pitch.
Murphy fouls at the plate. And an emphatic nod from Danny De La Calle saying, yes, that was the pitch I wanted in the spot that I wanted. And now he's got a dangerous hitter in the best possible count.
And I agree, really good pitch right there. So now he's got to force him to battle. He's in an 0-2, so he's got to be really smart right here. If he's going to waste something, potentially set up the next pitch.
The 0-2. Got him. Murphy chased low and in. Those are the pitches that you can throw when you are ahead in the count. And Searle finally did get a pitcher's count, took advantage of it, picks up a big first out.
Yeah, that's a big out for Surly right there, particularly in a tough situation. And like I said, mentally, Surly's conditioned for this. He's always come out of the bullpen for the last few years, and obviously the organization transitioning back to a starter. Now he's going into a new role, but he knows the situation better than anybody in that bullpen.
Zach Shepard has drawn a pair of walks in his 2 trips to the plate. He swings and misses too late on a fastball from Searle. Another swing and a miss. This time maybe a foul tip, but Shepard is in the same hole that Murphy was in, 0-2. And Searle retains the driver's seat for another at-bat.
Yeah, really good pitch by Surly right there, and once again, another tough situation against a very tough hitter, Zach Shepard.
The 0-2. Shepard takes, and it just misses. We aren't straight on. We are a bit on the third base side of home plate in our perch in the broadcast booth. All we could see was it hit the mid of De La Calle. Now the count is 1-2. Searle set at the belt. Shepard takes again, just outside. Ngope at third after a leadoff walk. Eunice at second after he was hit by a pitch. D'Antonio at first after a walk as well. Fifth plate appearance of the inning, and the Blue Sox haven't put a ball in play against Ryan Searle. Don't want to go to 3-2. This is an important pitch. Shepard takes a cold strike 3 on the outside corner. Searle loaded the bases and has come back with a pair of punch-outs, another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. He's now 1 out away from tap dancing his way out of this. Take another look. Nasty, nasty pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner that froze Shepard. It will be left to Michael Campbell. Campbell has reached twice, once on a fielder's choice, another on a single. Campbell stares that slow breaker into the strike zone. 0-1. "22 pitches now for Searle, 11 strikes, 11 balls. He has found the zone at precisely the exact time he needed to. And now time called at home plate. Campbell wearing the pant legs up, showing off the powder blue socks. Searle's 0-1. Campbell takes another strike. Searle has such good stuff. If he's throwing the ball in the zone, he's going to get a lot of swings and misses, a lot of favorable pitchers' counts, and it has been a tale of 2 half innings, so to speak, here. Loading the bases and battling almost all the way back. Here's the 0-2. Fouled back to the screen. Campbell just got a piece.
Good pitch sequence right there and good location. He elevated a fastball after throwing 2 breaking balls. So sometimes a hitter, you get a guy sitting on breaking ball, maybe you can sneak that by him. So now as a hitter, you're now having to make mental adjustments at the plate, saying, does he come back breaking ball? And hopefully you'll get him in in-between swing and keep him off balance.
With 2 down, the runners will be taking off on contact here. And lots of speed on the bases as well. Delacaille requests time, and no signal from the umpire, but time was evidently called. Campbell stepped out of the box and now steps back in. Searle's 0-2. Again, tapped foul. Bandits lead at 4-1 on the strength of a pair of home runs and a solid yet short start from Sam Holland. Ryan Searle in his first inning of relief trying to pitch out of a mess and put up a 0. Another 0-2 coming. Hit to right field, that's down for a hit. Scoring from third is Ngope. Eunice coming around, here's the throw to the plate, and it's not in time. A 2-out, 2-run single from Michael Campbell draws the Blue Sox to within 1. It's now 4-3. On-target throw from Dutton in right field, but just late as Delacaille could not put the sweep tag down.
Yeah, really good job of hitting right there. He got a pitch up in the zone with 2 strikes and stayed alive by battling, falling off some tough pitches, and shoots the ball to right field. And Eunice did a good job of breaking on contact and able to just beat the tag by Delacaille for the 3rd run of the game.
D'Antonio only advanced to second, so it's 1st and 2nd with 2 down still for Shen Hao Wei. 7th man to bat in the inning. Inside ball 1. This will be pitch number 28 in the inning for Ryan Searle. Blue Sox finally put the ball in play, and they found a good spot to do it. Shen pops it up behind first. Long run for Sutherland, and it will be the right fielder Dutton with the closest chance, and he takes a tumble over the short wall into his team's bullpen. Springing up right away, he's okay. Love to see that all-out effort. Suki Bowl replay here, and Dutton, whoop. For my next trick, I will make this ball player disappear. One, a cold strike. Searle comes set. A check of D'Antonio at second, and he delivers another pitch that hits the mid of De La Calle but misses just wide. If Shen can keep the inning going, it would be Alex Howe batting next. Two misses, and a back pick attempt to first almost hits Campbell in the square of the back. If that hits him, who knows where the ball ricochets, and the Blue Sox may have another run. That is an outstanding play by the first baseman, David Sutherland.
Tell you what, I like the aggressiveness right there, and that's a veteran catcher right there, seeing if he can potentially help his pitcher get out of an inning right there. Just seeing if there's a backdoor pick, but good job by the runner getting back on time.
Nothing wrong with the throw either, on target. 3-2, cold strike 3 on the check swing. Ryan Searle strikes out the side and strands 2, but Sydney gets 2 and they draw within 1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th in Brisbane, 4-3 Bandits.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Bandits have seen their lead shrink to 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning in Brisbane. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you for Game 1 of 4 between the first and second place teams in the new divisional alignment. This Eastern Division, Paul, is going to be a tough one. We have seen now Auckland and Sydney, and neither team should be dismissed.
No, I agree. I think it's what we call a balanced league this year. You know, I like the restructure, obviously with the inclusion of Geelong, Korea, and then you've got the Auckland Tuatara organization. I like the balance, and overall with the ownership model, a lot of owners have now gone out there and really built and strengthened their ball clubs this year.
Next week, the Bandits hit the road again to face the final team that they haven't seen in their own division, the Canberra Cavalry. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Bandits, beginning with TJ Bennett against Alex Maestri. Maestri twice now has been given a second lease on life, tightening the deficit that he has made for himself. 4 runs, 3 of them earned for Maestri, just a couple bad pitches leading to a pair of long home runs. Bennett 1 for 2. He reached on a single in the 3rd, then was caught stealing second on what we surmised up here may have been either a missed hit and run or a failure to communicate of some kind. He almost stole second base anyway. It was a close play.
Yeah, close play.
The 1-1. Missing. Bennett, Sutherland, and Lutz for the Bandits in the 5th inning. 2-1 on the outside corner. Don't see any throwing, but there is some standing around and stretching in the Bandits bullpen. Searle stretched out to be a starter, really labored in that 5th inning. And a swinging strikeout of Bennett begins the 5th for Maestri.
Yeah, once again, Maestri continues to compete, and we did talk about it early in the piece. Is he battles on the mound, and he's a great addition to this ball club, and he's very competitive, number 1.
David Sutherland homered to right field his last time up. First on the team to 3 homers. He won't be alone for long, you don't think. And a breaking pitch misses low and in, ball 1. Sutherland batting .240 on the year. 3 solo home runs for the tall first baseman, and 3 runs batted in. The only runs he has brought home have been his own. Hitters count. Here's the 2-0. Right down the middle. Good pitch to hit. Sutherland laces it down the left field line, foul, 2-2. If you're Sutherland, I'm just trying to get into his mind. You know your pitcher that you're facing has allowed 2 long home runs, 1 to Sutherland in a hitter's count on a fastball. He may have been sitting on a secondary pitch.
And that's what happens. Sometimes you can overthink an at bat, thinking I'll go into a veteran mindset, and then your veteran just goes back and says, all right, do it again.
Right. Count runs full with Lutz waiting on deck. Payoff pitch is chopped towards first. In between hop is fielded by Shepard, and he takes it to the base for out number 2. That brings up Donald Lutz, who's 2 for 2 with a 2-run homer in the first and a single and a run scored in the third. Lutz a couple weeks ago was joined by a couple of his countrymen, Marcus Solbach pitching for Adelaide and Max Kepler, outfielder for the Twins, coming to see his 2 friends. And on the topic of Germany, I asked Donald how he pronounces his last name. Everyone says Lutz, but he says in Germany, it's Lutz. So that's what I've tried to go with here. I slip in and out of it, but that's the standard I'm trying to maintain if we have any viewers back in Deutschland. Sounded like a cracked bat. Rolled on the ground towards second. Kemp to Shepard, and that's a 1-2-3 5th inning for Alex Maestri. Exactly what the doctor ordered. He has now put up a pair of zeros after the 2-run third. We go to the top of the 6th inning. We have ourselves a ball game. 4-3 Brisbane on Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Ryan Searle back out there for the 6th inning, facing 9-1-2 for the Blue Sox, Howe, Kemp, and Ngope. Blue Sox loaded the bases in the 5th with no outs thanks to a pair of walks and a hit by pitch. Searle struck out 3 of the final 4 batters he faced in the inning, but with 2 down and 2 strikes, Michael Campbell laced a 2-out, 2-run single to draw the Blue Sox to within 1. Alex Howe is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly to center. First pitch off the glove of De La Calle goes to the backstop, ball 1.
Overall, this game has played out exactly what we kind of anticipated. You've got 2 very evenly balanced ball clubs, going head to head, and with the exception of a few mistakes made tonight, we've got a well-contested game.
Bandits won the Battle of the Bullpens in the finale in Auckland, winning an extra inning ball game over the Tuatara to salvage the finale of that series. 2-0 the count now to Howe. Batting .333, no homers, 4 runs batted in. Searle flutters his glove as he comes set. Here's a called strike, 2-1. Love to see the different routines that pitchers have. Same thing every time, muscle memory. 2-1, early is Howe, and he sends it foul up the first baseline. See the same thing in basketball with the free throw routine. Try and train your body to do the exact same thing, and the repeatability leads to consistency.
Well, and that's exactly right. Most organizations now are looking at psychology coaches as well, and they talk about repetition.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Searle, and all 4 of his outs have come via the strikeout. He gets the first out in the 6th inning that he was not able to get in a timely fashion in the 5th.
But we talk about, consistency, and I think what you see now more and more, particularly at the elite levels and in all levels, is that athletes are not just looking at the conditioning on field, but they're looking at the mental conditioning and how they prepare for each at-bat, for each inning, whether it be a good situation or a negative situation, and that gets them in the right mindset.
Here's Dwayne Kemp, 0 for 3. Wrapped into a bases-loaded, inning-ending fielder's choice. His last time up, and he takes a called strike. I think the next frontier of physical and mental conditioning is the understanding of sleep on a player's performance, regardless of sport. There have been studies that show a marked difference between a player's ability on a short night's sleep and well rested. Right back up the middle and into center field. Almost got a piece of Searle, and Kemp is now 1 for 4.
I think there was an article through, it was either through Major League Baseball, the minor league baseball, talking about there was a player in the minors, actually, they changed his sleeping patterns, and he went from a low 90s guy to a mid to high 90s guy and pitching at the big league level. So there is obviously they attribute sleep to recovery, and you have to look at not just the physical recovery, but the mental recovery as well.
You've been through the minors. You know that that's not exactly the best lifestyle if you want to have regular and consistent sleep.
Now, you've got to learn to sleep under all conditions, and that's bus, train, automobile, or clubhouse, whatever.
Yeah.
You can get an extra half an hour to 2 hours sleep. And now, even as a person no longer competing in sport, I can get on a plane in an hour trip and I can still fall asleep within that hour. So it's just the conditioning of those situations.
Gift Ngope is 1 for 2. He walked and scored his last time up. Second time through the order now for Searle. Pitch misses inside, almost clipping the wrists of Ngope. But De La Calle springs out of his crouch to retrieve the ball and keep the runner at first.
I think early in my career, I saw a guy in the luggage rack, slept in the bus on a couple road trips, and then we had the other guys that couldn't sleep on the road trip, and I saw guys, what they would call bus surfing. They would stand on the armrest of the bus and surf while the bus was in motion, and surf when everyone else was sleeping.
I'd have to think you'd be a middle infielder to fit in the luggage rack of a bus. Pitch to Ngope, called strike. lefty warming in the Bandits' pen as Kemp is checked back at first. I believe that's Bollinger.
Yeah, Bollinger looks like he's heating up, and this is right to his role. So we are in the 6th inning of a 4-3 ball game, so very tight ball game. So David looks like he's got Bollinger heating up in the pen.
Trenton D'Antonio in the hole as a lefty. After that is Jack Murphy, the switch hitter. That may be the play. Check swing, fair ball to first. Sutherland fields it and tags Ngope running down the line for out number 2. Kemp in the process advances into scoring position. Super Bowl replay and an accidental swing from Ngope. Bandits weren't caught off guard. They make the play. Score at 3 unassisted. That brings up Jacob Eunice. 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the lower back area his last time up and came around to score on Michael Campbell's 2-run single. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Blue Sox, 4 runs on 7 hits for the Bandits, an error apiece for each team. And both errors have been quite costly, leading to an unearned run. First pitch misses up, ball 1.
This is a big at-bat right here for the Blue Sox and a big at-bat for Surly as well. So he does have the open base, so he can pitch careful to a tough hitter, but he'll have to battle. And then obviously, if it does bring up the lefty, you'll probably see Bollinger replace Searle if the lefty comes at the plate.
Eunice fouls it back. Just got a message from Gary McCoy, the performance coach for the Bandits. He says, latest research on sleep shows sleep debt will delay reaction time by 20 milliseconds. Wow. That turns an 80-mile-per-hour fastball into 100. So yeah, it's a big deal. As we put a bow on that topic. The 1-1. Eunice jammed in on the hands. He sends it foul.
I guess the same would apply to us in our role, so.
I'm pretty well rested. I don't know if you can say the same.
No, I can't, unfortunately, but.
We've got different responsibilities during the week. Searle has struck out 4 over an inning and 2/3. 1 strike away from stranding Kemp at second. The pitch. Eunice hangs tough.
Good pitch right there by Surly and just really tied him up on the inner half, and that's where he's got to stay tough. He's got tie and run on third base with 2 outs here in the 6th, and now it allows David, if he can get through this inning without a run, then it allows David to start potentially playing with the back end of the bullpen and start bringing in some of the hired guns that can shut the door.
Another 1-2. Searle stares down his opponent. The pitch. Eunice sends it high in the air, deep towards left field. Nielsen is going back. He runs to a spot, and he picked the right spot. Well played by Nielsen, catching it on the edge of the warning track. Eunice comes up just short, and so too do the Blue Sox, who leave a man at second in a scoreless 6th inning. Nice job by Ryan Searle, who trots off the mound after his 48-pitch outing. To the bottom of the 6th we go in Brisbane. 4-3 Bandits on bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Another tremendous crowd here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus in Brisbane, and so far they are seeing their hometown Bandits acquit themselves quite well against the first place Sydney Blue Sox. 4-3 our score as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you for game 1 of 4 between these two teams. Division rivals, and it has been a very one-sided rivalry, Paul, over the last couple years. Those times, I think, are about to change.
Well, I think the times have changed across the league. You start to see how way organizations are rebuilding their franchises and, acquiring big names. We've got, big leaguers, on the bump. Got a Japanese big leaguer for over 3 or 4 years coming out of Japan back in the Australian Baseball League. So it's a lot more competitive, and obviously there's a lot more at stake because now there's commercial interest involved.
Shu Ji-hung leads off the 6th inning for the Bandits, and a check swing brings the count to 0-2. Shu is 0 for 2, but his last time up, he came up with 2 down and Donald Lutz at first. He sent a high fly ball to the warning track in left center field just as the sun had set. And it was dropped by D'Antonio, the left fielder. It went for a 3-base error and led to a Bandits run. 0-2 misses inside. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Brisbane. Shu, Unruh, and Dutton against Alex Maestri, who's only made a couple of bad pitches, but right now is on the hook as the losing pitcher. The 1-2. Slow breaking ball just misses the outside corner. Good take from Shu.
Yeah, Maestri wanted that pitch right there, and this is where your veteran catcher comes into play. Like, he really ran the ball in on him on the hands and got him to think about the inner half and able to potentially get him on a backdoor breaking ball. Just was able to get the call.
Maestri from the wind delivers, and Shu keeps the at-bat alive. 78 pitches now for Maestri. 49 of them for strikes. Shu batting .208 on the young season. Barrels this one up, but he's late, and he sends it foul out of play down the left field line.
This Blue Sox organization reminds me, and when Maestri first came to the league, he made the All-Star team, and it was fairly diversified from an international perspective. And you look at this team now, you've got an Italian-born pitching to an American with a Netherlands second baseman. Ooh.
Shu chased high in the zone, and a swinging strike 3 is out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Strikeout number 7 already for Maestri, who in other circumstances would be pitching a much gaudier ball game. Take another look at the Suki Bowl replay. That was a ball, but Shu could not resist the shoulder height fastball.
No, it's tough, particularly when he's shown him 3 or 4 different pitches and then elevates the fastball and gets him to chase out of the zone.
Riley Unruh looking to break the seal. He is 0 for 2 in his 2018 debut. Trying to work off the jet lag and the rust after joining the team as an acquisition earlier in the week. 2-0 now the count. Unruh figures to play some at second, some at short. He can play anywhere, and that's the type of player that Dave Nielsen likes to have in his arsenal. 2-0 misses low. And just stuff like this, I mean, you've played for quite a long time. As you try and get in the swing of things, seeing pitches and seeing live pitching, that can be just as valuable as taking cuts.
It is, and it's actually, from a hitting perspective, is seeing a guy like Maestri is actually good because he shows you so many different looks, in that bat. So hopefully that can help accelerate your adjustment as a hitter. But it's never easy. You always want to come in off whether it's a plane or whatever, you come off and swing a hot bat.
There's a drive to deep right field. Campbell retreating. The ballpark will hold it, and on the edge of the track he makes the catch. Just a little bit too much altitude on that high fly ball off the bat of Unruh, 2 down.
But for a hitter right there, and you just talked about it, you just come off the plane on an international flight, which you're talking, probably with transit over 20-plus hours. But those are 2 good at-bats, considering probably hadn't been swinging the bat against live pitching, and he's had 2 hard outs in his last 2 plate appearances.
Line out and a fly out, both to right field, and that'll leave it to Wade Dutton. Dutton 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. He takes ball 1. Ryan Bollinger continues to warm for the Bandits. Looks like Ryan Searle's day is done after 2 innings of 2-run ball. Dutton takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
Maestri looks like he's hit another gear. He's almost looked like deeper in the ball game. He's gotten a lot stronger, and really, when you talk about the 6, his pitch count is still pretty low, considering his workload today.
A rocket for a base hit to left field. Dutton has his second base hit of the ball game. With 2 down, he thinks about going to second, but stays at first with a single. That extends the inning for Daniel Nielsen. Nielsen 1 for 2 with a strikeout in the second and a single in the fourth. Keep an eye on Dutton at first. Bandits are 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts tonight, but this is a prime situation to send a runner in motion. Nielsen takes ball 1. Nielsen on the season batting .261. Looking for his first run batted in, and he takes a called strike. That was pitch number 90 for Maestri. 57 strikes, 33 balls. Peering over his left shoulder at Dutton, the righty comes set. Foul back to the screen. Another reminder that the pink jerseys worn by the Bandits tonight will be autographed by the players who wore them and auctioned off online next week as part of Alpha H Ladies Night benefiting the McGrath Foundation. One, 2 misses low and away. And if you'd prefer to just have a non-game used jersey, which I'm sure there are some people out there who want to be the first person to wear a jersey, they've got some new ones in the pro shop down the right field line as well. Slow move to first. I don't think that's Maestri's best move, but it does the job getting Dutton back. The pitch to Nielsen, again fouled into the dugout of the Bandits. Cricket-style swing from Andrew Campbell in the hole there, trying to keep that away from his teammates.
Yeah, just try to knock it down on a tough bold.
Dutton takes his lead. Nielsen takes just low and away. 3-2. That'll send Dutton in motion. Danny De La Calle waits on deck. Dutton goes and Nielsen pops it up in shallow center. And Gope, the shortstop, takes charge and makes the catch for out number 3. Bandits can't do anything with a 2-out single, and they come up empty in the 6th inning. We cruise along to the 7th in Brisbane. Bandits on top of the Blue Sox 4-3.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a sporting globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like.
Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car. Commute in a van pool. Or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future.
How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Another Alderley higher pitching change for Dave Nielsen and the Bandits. Ryan Searle done after 2 innings of 2-run ball. And coming on in his place is Ryan Bollinger. Searle allowed 2 hits and 2 runs while walking 2 and striking out 4. Bollinger comes on, giving the Blue Sox a different look. He comes in from the left side, and he will look to retain this 1-run lead for the Bandits. Taking a look briefly at the scoreboard around the ABL. Melbourne leading Geelong Korea 4-1 in the top of the 8th inning. In Adelaide, the Perth Heat have scored 2 in this 5th inning, but they still trail the Bite 3-2. In a final earlier today, Auckland falls to the Canberra Cavalry by a score of 6-2. Bollinger comes in at an opportune time. First man he faces is the left-handed hitting Trent D'Antonio. After that, the switch hitting Jack Murphy, the righty Zach Shepard, and then another lefty in Michael Campbell. Bollinger may find himself in the starting rotation sometime later this season, but for now he is in the bullpen, filling situations like this, and he will get a quick first out. 1 pitch, 1 out. He grounded to short, and Bennett's throw is close enough to Sutherland for the long first baseman to make the stretch.
Yeah, good job. Just ball to his right, came in and able to finish the throw, and good follow-through for out number 1. That's a big out for Bollinger. This is what you want to do. You've got a 4-3 lead here in the 7th inning, so you're in the business end of the game, and getting a little chat with his catcher right now, just making sure they're on the same page, try to close this ball game out.
Jack Murphy is 0 for 3. Came up with the bases loaded and no outs his last time up, and struck out swinging against Ryan Searle. Bollinger is yet to allow an earned run this year. Like many Bandits relievers, he has been solid in whatever role Dave Nielsen has thrown his way. Murphy turns around batting for the first time tonight from the right side. He takes a called strike on the inner half.
I think you're probably right. As Bollinger builds up his inning count, it'll be interesting to see if David does make a change and get him back in the rotation. But he's been very, very effective coming out of the pen.
The only other lefty reliever right now for the Bandits is Ken Frosch. He has done a good job as well, but you'd like to have more than one lefty option, as this one is sent in the air deep towards center, but the ballpark will hold it. Murphy flies out to center field. Campbell makes the catch for out number 2. That brings up Zach Shepard. Shepard looking to put the ball in play for the first time. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a pair of walks, and a run scored. Batting average pretty good at .321. Called strike begins the at-bat.
Now he's a great pickup. Again, last year limited at-bats in 17-18, only 43 at-bats. So to have him back in the lineup every day is big for the Blue Sox organization.
Bandits trying to suck the life out of this ball game. And a swinging strike 3. An outstanding inning for Ryan Bollinger. He finishes it off with his first strikeout, another Skyfleet Hino strikeout to end the frame. That sends us to the 7th inning stretch here in Brisbane at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Back after this, the score 4-3 Bandits.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
We head to the bottom of the 7th inning in Brisbane. 4-3 Bandits on top of the Sydney Blue Sox in Game 1 of a pivotal early season 4-game set. Alex Maestri leads with a quality start. 4 runs, 3 of them earned over 6 solid innings. But right now he's the pitcher of record, and he gives way to Tyrell Harris, a familiar face for Bandits fans. He pitched last in the ABL in 16-17. Appearing in 7 games, all in relief for the Bandits, going 1-0 with an ERA of 3. So far, over 3 innings in 3 games for the Blue Sox this year. He has yet to allow a run, and he has struck out 6 while only allowing 1 hit. It's another Alderley higher pitching change. The first of the game and the first of the series for Tony Harris. If you manage the Sydney Blue Sox like Tony, you have to be pleased with the pitching performance you got from Maestri.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about early in the piece when Maestri took the mound, and one thing he does, he competes on the bump, 3-pitch guy, but more than anything, he goes out there and he keeps you in a ball game, which he did tonight. So it's still tight here in the 7th with the Bandits leading 4-3.
No walks, 7 strikeouts for Maestri. Harris, 31 years old, out of Compton, California. Former Tennessee Volunteer and a 19th round draft pick of the Atlanta Braves in 2009. He faces 9-1-2, beginning with Danny De La Calle. De La Calle takes up high ball 1. Danny, I think, is happy to see Alex Maestri depart. He was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, and now he gets a different look from the tall righty. Cold strike, it's 1-1.
One thing I do remember from Harris when he pitched for the Bandits, he is a power arm, so he's going to come at you, he's going to challenge you. Be good to see if these Bandits hitters can make the early adjustments.
Harris fools De La Calle on a breaking pitch in the dirt. It's 1-2. De La Calle, Campbell, and Bennett for the Bandits, who will feel a lot better if they can extend their lead to 2 or 3 runs. Luke Van Meel, the closer on the Bandits, got the save on opening night, but hasn't had a save opportunity since. Matt Timms picked up the save, and Van Meel picked up the win in the finale in Auckland, an extra inning victory. Fell back to the screen, and the count remains 1-2. The pitch. Wow. Slow breaking pitch and a called strike 3. That's tough to hit and that's tough to pick up. And once you see that ball up, it's tough to start the swing even when you know it's going to drop into the zone.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what, and we get a chance to see the replay on this, and just looked like he didn't give up on it, but good break and a good downward action on that breaking ball. But The main thing is his variations of speed, because he's a power arm that obviously now has developed that secondary pitch and be able to take a lot of speed off it.
Andrew Campbell is 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored his first time up. He takes a called strike.
What Harris is bringing the noise, so he's come out here to Brisbane ready to showcase his stuff tonight.
It was that same pitch that got De La Calle, but Campbell takes it for a ball, 1-1. So far, Tony Harris is throwing out only guys who used to wear a Bandits uniform. Check swing, a 3/4 swing to be more accurate, and it's 1-2.
You like to see, you see the intensity of Harris coming out, and, you know, like I said, that secondary pitch is tough because there's such a big speed variation between the two.
Campbell sends it on the ground towards second. Fielding is Kemp. He has to hurry, but he does just in time get Campbell for out number 2. Suki Bowl replay shows that you can't take Andrew Campbell for granted when he's hustling down the line.
No, you can't. Good play by the second baseman and fire the ball across the diamond, but good hustle by Campbell to make it a tough second out of the inning.
Here's TJ Bennett. He's 1 for 3 with a single and a caught stealing. Bennett takes the pitch up and away, ball 1. Tomorrow we have a twin bill for you. Scheduled start times of 2:30 and 6. As Bennett sends it in the air towards right field, but off the end of the bat, and it is caught by Campbell for out number 3. Tyrell Harris shoves against his former team, a 1-2-3 7th inning, and we go to the 8th. Still 4-3 Bandits on Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Bandits lead the Blue Sox 4-3 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Bandits looking to take over first place at the end of the night. Right now they're behind Sydney by a half game by virtue of playing one fewer game, the rain out last weekend in Auckland. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Blue Sox against Ryan Bollinger. Bollinger coming off of an outstanding 7th inning, a 1-2-3 frame in which he struck out Zach Shepard to end the inning. Michael Campbell tries to manufacture runs any way he can. He drops down a bunt foul, and that caught the Bandits a bit off guard.
It's a good play by the hitter. He's a young hitter right there, and he's got a tough lefty on the bump. So if he's got the third baseman playing back, he could potentially drop it down, or potentially with the lefty falling to the third base line, get a push bunt to the second baseman.
Campbell fouls it off, and he is in the hole 0-2. Campbell, Shen, and Howe due up for the Blue Sox, and Campbell and Howe are both left-handed. Matt Timms is beginning to warm in the Brisbane bullpen, would likely be the arm to go to if the Blue Sox can turn the lineup over for their righties. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nasty pitch in the dirt. throw down to first is off target, but Sutherland has plenty of time to catch and take the base for the strikeout. Second straight strikeout for Bollinger. Another Skyfleet Hino strikeout is out number 1 here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, look at the replay right there, and a good job by Delicaya to knock the ball down on a tough slider in the dirt, and comes up firing. A good job by Sutherland to come off the bag and get the out. So that's a big out for the Bandits here in the top of the 8th.
Maybe that's unfair to call it an off-target throw because Delicaya knew exactly how much time he had. You throw to the biggest target, and you don't want to throw it into the line at all and risk hitting the runner.
Absolutely, and a good job. Like I said, and that's where you've got veteran first baseman out there not trying to overstretch, come off the bag, make the play, touch it back for out number 1. So good job all around.
Shen Hao Wei is 1 for 3. Single in the 4th. He struck out looking to strand a pair in the 5th. Shen sends it out into shallow center field. That falls in front of Campbell, and the Blue Sox have the tying man on base.
Yeah, defensively right there, looks like they were playing no double, so you had Campbell deep into center field for the easy single, and then really when you talk about no doubles defenses, you're preventing ball to go over your head. So in this situation, in this ballpark, a ball over your head is usually a home run, so it keeps the ball in for a single.
Shen stole second after reaching on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Bandits know that he has speed as he takes an aggressive lead on the lefty Bollinger. The fact that Bollinger is left-handed may keep him at bay as the first pitch misses low and away to Alex Howe. Howe 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Right-handed hitting Dwayne Kemp waits on deck. Matt Timms, staring in and watching the game, appears to be ready. And the check at first. Shen dives back safely. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Blue Sox, 4 runs on 8 hits for the Bandits. Each team has an error and an unearned run. The 1-0. Howe sends it hard but foul down the left field line. And out of our view, but a nice catch must have been made.
No,
it
came off the light tower and back into play. So you can see the replay. Good job by the Hailstorm team tonight. It comes off the light tower and back into play. So good pickup by the boys.
Let's see, that's broadcast 101 for Hailstorm after celebrating broadcast 100 a couple weeks ago. Cheers to 100 more. And they almost picked off Shen, who was leaning towards second. Another look at the pickoff move from Bollinger and the tag from Sutherland, almost getting Shen. Howe cracks it into center field, and again with the outfield playing back, it'll fall in front of Campbell. Campbell gets it into the cutoff man right away. That keeps Shen at second base. But a pair of singles after the leadoff strikeout have the Blue Sox threatening. And now we see if Timms is the man to go to.
Really good at bat right there by Howell. He got a pitch up in the strike zone and able to drive the ball in the center field. And now we got man on first and second. Now the top of the order come to the plate for the Blue Sox.
Dwayne Kemp is 1 for 4, but that one hit came in his last at bat. Single off of Ryan Searle. Shen at second, Howe at first. Respectively, they are the tying and go-ahead runs. Kemp chases up the stairs, strike 1. Timms continues to throw. Kemp fouls it off the mask of the catcher, Delicaya, and then off the mask of the umpire, Paul Latta. Suki Bowl replay, and that didn't get Delicaya at all. That was straight off of Latta's mask. Those ones hurt. Hopefully it was a glancing blow.
Yeah, look, it did catch him off, and a good job right there. He takes his time, and Delicaya just obviously check in on his home plate umpire and make sure he's okay, but Latta looks fine, and it'll be back into it.
Catchers and umpires don't always get along, but it's a brotherhood of sorts. Both putting yourself in harm's way. A little humpback liner. It falls for a base hit. Picked up by Dutton, and he will not throw to the plate. Couldn't get a handle on the baseball. Scoring from second is Shen. Dwayne Kemp, with an 8th inning RBI single, ties the ball game at 4 apiece.
Really good job of hitting by Kemp right there. He came up with a pitch in on the hands and able to keep his hands inside the baseball and shoot it into right field in front of Dutton, and run scores easily, now tying the ball game 4-4.
It does not get any easier from here. Gift and Gope, the next man up. 1 for 3 with a walk, a single, and a run scored. Howe got to second. And the first pitch to Ngope, breaking ball for a strike. 3 straight singles of varying quality. And the Blue Sox have drawn us back even. The 0-1 misses low and in.
And a credit to these hitters. They've battled this whole game, and they've taken advantage of opportunities. And here against a very tough lefty who's been very effective this season, and they all did 3 simple singles, but now they've tied this ball game with a threat at second base.
Gope swinging for the fences, comes up empty. "21 pitches for Bollinger and 18 strikes. He has been pumping the zone, perhaps at this point to his detriment, but can't argue with the results. If not for the soft little liner that leaked into the outfield, he would still have a lead. 1-2, and Ngope is able to take. A shout of frustration. I'm not sure what that was for. Maybe he thought he could have hit that pitch.
You know, he's a very animated hitter, and obviously once he locks in, looks like maybe his hand's committed on the pitch that he was fortunate enough to lay off of. So still a tough at-bat right here for Bollinger.
2-2, and Ngope takes at the shoelaces. Nice stop by De La Calle. The count runs full. Jacob Eunice waits on deck. You don't want to run into an out here, but the runners may take off and trust that Ngope can put the bat on the ball. Payoff pitch to Ngope. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bollinger, like so many Bandits pitchers before him tonight, gets the strikeout when he needs it. It's strikeout number 3 for Bollinger, another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. And out number 2, leaving it to Jacob Eunice.
Yeah, big out for Bollinger against a really tough hitter, and looks like he just powered up and threw fastball by him in a 3-2 count. So battle still here with Eunice at the plate and 2 outs and man on second base.
Eunice 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Almost hit by that inside fastball. It's ball 1. This game is tied for the first time since the first inning. Brisbane led from the word go. 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Eunice takes on the inside corner.
Once again, we talk about the balance, and when I look at these 2 organizations, they're fairly evenly matched, and really it's going to come down to the little things and who makes the mistakes and who capitalizes, and that's what it's been tonight.
The pitch to Eunice. Chopped towards third, it's foul. Had it been fair, she would have had a play. Usually at our midweek at the plate series, I give a hot take. We didn't do that this week, but here's my hot take. We are in for a lot of tight games like this. Not just in this series, but when we go to Sydney in a few weeks. The 1-2. Cracked foul.
And the thing is, the Blacktown ballpark, it plays so much differently. This ballpark, it is a pitcher-friendly ballpark, big yard, you know, and it does. Guys will have to make adjustments. It'll work probably to the advantages of both pitching staff, because if we've got quality pitching staff on both sides, but it'll be hitters making adjustments.
Eunice sends it in the air, shallow right center. And it drops. Howe scores from second, and Jacob Eunice with a well-placed single in the Bermuda's triangle in right center gives the Blue Sox their first lead of the game.
Yeah, as soon as that ball was hit, it was going to be in that tough no-man zone, and made a tough attempt at it. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to come up with the play, and that scores the 5th run of the ball game. And once again, the Blue Sox continue to battle throughout this game.
Remains to be seen whether that will go as an RBI single or double. Eunice ends up at second. That may have been on the throw. Here's Trent D'Antonio. D'Antonio grounded to short his first time up against Bollinger. He swings at the first pitch again and sends it right to the first baseman, David Sutherland. With the third out comes a batter too late. The Blue Sox score 2 to take a 5-4 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th in Brisbane. You're watching Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
It's a tradition here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, the No Errors Diamond Dash. First place winner gets a No Errors backpack, and that young lady was not the first place winner, but she had a good time nonetheless. Buster almost made it to the finish line. Bandits hoping to make it to the finish line tonight and come away with a victory. They will have to come from behind, which is an unfamiliar situation for them, especially against Sydney, a team they have dominated the last couple years. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Bandits. Sutherland, Lutz, and Shu against Tyrell Harris, who motored through a 1-2-3 7th inning in relief of Alex Maestri. They did give Jacob Eunice a double on that pop fly into shallow right center field, so officially it's 3 singles and an RBI double for the Blue Sox, leading to a pair of runs. Ryan Bollinger did not deserve that fate. Both Dwayne Kemp's RBI single and Jacob Eunice's RBI double went higher than they did far. David Sutherland takes just off the outside corner, ball 1. Sutherland 1 for 3 with a solo home run to right field in the 3rd inning. It's his 3rd home run of the season. Sutherland way out ahead, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, good pitch. Looks like he's a little changeup right there, and first pitch off the plate, and then able to show a secondary pitch in a big count right there. So now it gets you back at 1-1.
Sutherland takes wide. Now we'll see what the Bandits can do. This would be a tone-setting victory for the Blue Sox on the road against the 3-time defending champions. 2-1 misses, and it's 3-1. Dave Nielsen does have a couple options at his disposal if Sutherland reaches and he wants a pinch runner. The pitch. Sutherland swinging for the fences. He didn't want a pinch runner there. He wanted to trot around the bases.
Yeah, got his pitch right there, just wasn't able to square it up, and now he's got to battle 3-2 and see if he can find a way to get on base here in the 8th inning, down by 1.
Both Sutherland and Lutz behind him are home run threats. They've each homered in tonight's ball game already. Payoff pitch popped up. Another payoff pitch coming to David Sutherland. This one is lifted in the air, back of second. Shortstop Ngope calls and catches for the first out. Four up, four down for Tyrell Harris in his relief outing. Right now he stands to pick up the win. And who knows, he may go the distance the way he's pitching. Here's Donald Lutz, 2 for 3, a 2-run homer in the first, a single and a run scored in the third.
So I've got a ticket report earlier today and looking at 1,285.
Outstanding.
So a really good turnout, and thank you to all the Bandits fans coming out on a Friday night, and a tough night because they had the Horn Mundine fight tonight at Suncorp Stadium. So really grateful for the fans to come out and support the Bandits.
Lutz with a big swing sends it straight back. You know there's a fight in town when people try and pick fights with you at the hotel. The 1-1. Ooh, slow breaker, and Lutz held off. It's a ball, 2-1. Lutz chases. May have been ball 3. It was a pitch that would have gone a long ways if Lutz had made contact. The count is 2-2.
And I like to see that when you talk about your big guys in your lineup, and you get in hitting counts, 2-1 count, and they know they're going to get challenged. It's good to see the guys airing it out.
The pitch to Lutz, a check swing and a called strike 3. Didn't look like Lutz went around. The pitch must have been close enough for Paul Latta to ring him up. 5 up, 5 down in the relief outing for Tyrell Harris. Second strikeout.
Yeah, Tyrell's been tough since he's come out and to replace Maestri, and that's exactly what you want. You get a chance to look at pitch location here. And
Shu Chi-hung, last hope in the 8th for the Bandits. He takes low ball 1.
But going back to Harris, he's done a brilliant job, and obviously Blue Sox did a really good job swinging the bats in the last inning to go ahead, and he's been lights out since he's entered this ball game.
The pitch to Shu. Called strike. 1-1. Matt Tim's back up and warming. He'll likely get the 9th unless the Bandits can take a lead. Check swing, and Shu held up. Shu foul tips into the mid of the catcher Murphy. He's been swinging for the fences, and the Bandits as a team have been swinging for the fences tonight. 3 of the 4 runs came on a home run. The other one came on Shu's 3-base error on a warning track fly to left center. 2-2 misses wide, and the count runs full. Riley Unruh waits on deck.
Tell you what, he's letting it fly up there. Like, he's very animated on the mound, but he's pitching with passion. And as a competitor, that's what you want to see from an organization. So, like you talked about, guys coming out of the bullpen with a purpose, and he's doing his job tonight.
Payoff pitch to Shu. Fouled at the plate. Bandits dugout ready for that one. Another 3-2 coming to Shu. And another foul. Bandits scored 2 runs in the first inning and led all the way until the top half of this 8th inning. Sydney, charging fast, has taken the lead as they look to pad their lead in the Eastern Division of the ABL. The pitch outside, and Shu draws a walk as he tries to get his bat going. At-bats like that will go a long ways towards building his confidence.
Yeah, that's a good at-bat. Exactly like you said, you know, with 2 outs, it's about finding ways to get on base. He had a couple big swings and came up short, but able to draw a walk, and that brings guys had 2 quality at-bats with an opportunity to potentially break open the first hit of the ABL season for this year, and Unruh.
Shu has better than average speed for a third baseman as he takes an aggressive lead at first base. Riley Unruh steps in, and he takes wide ball 1. That'll prompt a mound visit for the catcher Murphy. Unruh 0 for 3. He struck out his first time up, but since then a pair of well-struck outs, a liner to right, and a fly ball that almost left the yard to right.
And that's what right here. This is a good timeout by Murph. You know, this is what I talk about. I think he was a fantastic acquisition because he slows down the tempo, doesn't force your pitching coach to go out there, and basically he takes command of the ball game and just settles him back in. Obviously he sees the emotions are in and saying, hey, let's settle back in. You're overthrowing. Stay within yourself and pick up my target.
Unruh thrown right into the fire. Big chance here for the Bandits. And a non-competitive pitch. It's 2-0.
Here's where you do lock in as a hitter. You're in a 2-0 count. You just come off the plane from probably LA after a long layover, and you go ahead and commit to the swing, and hopefully you get a fastball you can handle.
2 Bandits batters did that already tonight. The pitch. Ooh. Unruh got the pitch, and he sent it straight back to the screen. That's a great swing. Just not the result he was looking for. Lutz's 2-run homer in the first and Sutherland's solo shot in the third each came in hitters' counts. The 2-1 to Riley Unruh, and another pitch left up and another one sent straight back.
2 good swings right there, and once again 2-1 is a hitting count. Never wanted to see a pitcher go 3-1 because he's got to come back with a fastball, but now he's going to have to battle with Deuce's Wald here in the 8th. And the Bandits are still down 5-4.
Tyrell Harris trying to finish off the 8th inning. Unruh waves and misses at the breaking pitch, and Tyrell Harris does get the job done. 2 outstanding innings from the Sydney righty, and we go to the 9th inning. Blue Sox on top, 5-4.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots.
But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip.
Look, kids, nature.
Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car.
Commute in a van pool.
Or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future.
How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
The Sydney Blue Sox look to extend their lead in the top of the 9th inning. as they try to end their slump, their seasons-long slump against the Brisbane Bandits. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you for game 1 of 4 between the first and second place teams in the Eastern Division of the newly aligned ABL. Blue Sox 5-3 on the year, Bandits 4-3. These two teams will meet each other 7 more times as we see the new pitcher in the game thanks to the Alderley Higher pitching change. Matt Timms comes on in relief of Ryan Bollinger. Bollinger went 2 innings of relief and allowed 2 runs, both of them on little chip shot base hits for the Blue Sox. That's unfortunate for Bollinger, but those breaks sometimes happen in baseball.
They do. I mean, he made quality pitches and a great job by the Blue Sox making some adjustments against a tough left-handed arm, and they were able to manufacture 2 runs late in the ball game, and now they take the lead 5-4.
2 runs on 4 hits for Bollinger. Jack Murphy leads things off for the Blue Sox against Timms. Turned around to the left side again against the righty Timms. And a called strike begins the at-bat. Murphy 0 for 4. Fly out to center his last time up. The difference between these two teams offensively has been evident tonight. The Bandits very home run reliant. That's the way their roster is constructed. Sydney has come up with a lot of base hits and hits with runners in scoring position. You can argue the validity of some of their hits, but again, they still count. And that is the Blue Sox strength. Playing their home games in a pitcher-friendly ballpark, that's how they find the way to win games. Breaking pitch misses inside. The 2-1. Timms gets a swing and a miss. 2-2.
Good pitch right there, and just able to keep the ball in on his hands, not letting him get his arms extended, and that's where he can be very, very dangerous. If you do allow him to get his arms extended, he can do some damage.
Timms is 0-1 on the year, but he has not yet allowed an earned run. Picked up the loss in the opener in Auckland, in which an unearned run on a throwing error brought the winning run home on a walkout. Timms picked up the save in Sunday's doubleheader finale. Fouled back to the screen, the count remains 3-2. Murphy, Shepard, and Campbell due up for the Blue Sox, 5, 6, and 7. And for the Bandits, the bottom third of the order coming up in the 9th inning. Can't see the Sydney pen, but Tyrell Harris has done an excellent job with 2 scoreless innings of relief. 3-2 lifted out of play. And again, a reminder, a doubleheader tomorrow here at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. 2:30 and 6 local time are the start times with no severe weather in sight. We'll have those games on bandits.tv. Yeah, knock on wood, Paul. We don't want any rain. Sunday's finale at 2:30 start. ABL.tv will have that broadcast. 3-2 sent in the air towards center. No doubles defense, and Campbell makes his way in for the catch out number 1.
Good job right there by Timms. He, like I said, talking about keeping his hands and tying his hands inside and able to get the first out with a fly ball to center field. So really important inning for the Bandits, and we did talk about it. You've got the bottom of the order coming for the Bandits coming up, so they're going to have to find a way if they want to get back in this ball game to manufacture a run.
Through 4 plate appearances, Zach Shepard hasn't put the ball in play. A pair of walks, a pair of strikeouts. He stands in against Matt Timms. There's an 8-pitch at bat to Murphy that ended in an out, and a check swing here brings the count to 0-1. Shepard chases and misses, 0-2. The righty Timms comes set. The pitch. And pops out of the mitt, but it's a swing and a miss, and the strikeout is completed by De La Calle. Another strikeout for the Bandits pitching staff. That is number 12 tonight. First of the night for Timms, and another Skyfleet Hino strikeout.
Yeah, a lot of strikeouts tonight, and really shows that hitters are being very, very aggressive, even with 2 strikes. And it almost seems like you've seen the air of Major League Baseball and more aggressive approach at the plate. And everyone's talking about, you know, let's go with a higher risk approach. And guys have done good jobs here tonight, but a lot of strikeouts in this ball game.
Michael Campbell steps in and takes ball 1. Dutton, Nielsen, and De La Calle due up for the Bandits. They hope more than that will bat as they try to rally in the bottom of the 9th inning. Called strike, and it's 1-1. A called strike. Timms is going about his business in an economical fashion. After the 8-pitch at bat to Murphy, this will be pitch number 15. He hopes it's his last. Campbell swings and misses strike 3. Kicking away from De La Calle. Wow. He has to hurry. What a play by Danny De La Calle behind the plate. He blocked it and sprung up out of the crouch to complete the strikeout of Michael Campbell for out number 3. Nasty pitch from Timms, landed in front of the plate. And De La Calle springs out of the crouch. No look, on target throw to Sutherland for out number 3. Bandits hope that is a momentum changer as they take their last hacks in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing Sydney 5-4.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
It'll be Todd Van Stensel coming on for the Blue Sox, looking to clamp down on the save and give Sydney a series opening victory on the road against the Brisbane Bandits. Dutton, Nielsen, and De La Calle due up for Brisbane as we see the Alderley Higher pitching change, relieving Tyrell Harris in favor of Todd Van Stensel. Van Stensel is a Sydney native. He has pitched with the Blue Sox since the beginning of the new ABL. So far this year, 3 scoreless innings, 2 hits allowed, and 6 strikeouts. Put up good numbers in the Twins organization this year at AA, but was released and just announced on Twitter, where he has an active presence, that he is now a member of the San Diego Padres organization. So congrats to Todd. Bandits hope that they can ruin his party here by tying up the ball game, forcing extras at the very least, and maybe even walking it off. Wade Dutton has had a nice night. He is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and a strikeout. Dutton takes off the inside corner, ball 1. Van Stensel can really bring it. He was bragging before he got signed by the Padres on Twitter about his velocity and how it had been up so far in the 2018 ABL season. Upper 90s. The 1-0. It's 2-0.
Yeah, got a chance. I was at the WBC in Tokyo last year, and he pitched obviously for Team Australia, and he was anywhere from 94 to 97 miles an hour, so he can run it up there. The key will be always is that secondary pitch, but be interesting to see. I think David will probably have guys take until they get a strike and really force him to get the ball over the plate.
Hitters count for Dutton. The 2-0. Down the middle. Sure enough, Dutton takes the strike, and now the at-bat begins.
Yeah, I like that approach. Force him to throw a strike and put pressure on him. Now he's still in the hitting count 2-1, and he's probably still get a pitch he can drive.
Wow. Called strike. It's 2-2. You can hear the pop of the mitt from up here. Van Stensel comes set. The 2-2. Missing low and away. Dutton hasn't taken the bat off his shoulder, and the count runs full with Daniel Nielsen waiting on deck.
Good at bat right here, and if he can work his way to a walk, it's been a really quality at bat, but he's got to battle against a very hard-throwing right-handed arm.
The payoff pitch. Dutton sends it up the middle. Backhand stop by the second baseman Kemp. The throw is in time and on target to retire Dutton for the first out. Take another look at the Suki Bowl replay. Nice play by Kemp. And the throw was to the outfield side of first. And though his foot left the base, Shepard got it back on before Dutton arrived.
Yeah, fantastic play right there by the second baseman, and range far to his right and comes up not just with a good play, but a really good throw to finish the out, and out number one, and a big out for the Blue Sox.
Daniel Nielsen is 1 for 3. He takes on the inside corner a called strike. Very patient approach for the Bandits. Danny De La Calle, who made an outstanding defensive play in the top of the 9th inning, waits on deck. After that, it's the top of the order. Nielsen cracks it up the middle, a base hit. And Gope frustrated that he couldn't get to it. And the tying run is on base.
Really good job by Nielsen right there. He got a pitch down in the zone and just stayed within himself and shot the ball up the middle and keeps the inning alive with 1 out. Bandits still down 5-4, but that'll bring up a tough hitter, number 9 hitter to the plate, and then top of the order for the Bandits as well.
So far, it has been an offensive night to forget. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He could make it a night to remember if he comes through here. Check swing and a strike, 0-1. De La Calle has 3 doubles and a home run in the young season so far. You take either one of those here. Fouled into the mitt, and it's 0-2.
Van Stensel's made a really good adjustment right here, so he hasn't shown him one fastball right now. He's gone both pitches back-to-back off-speed pitches, and now he's got to really battle with 2 strikes.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. De La Calle 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. He chased the 0-2 there. You see why Van Stensel has been so effective. That pitch started on the outside corner and kept darting away.
Yeah, and that's what I talk about, attribute the leadership of the catcher right now, because he's got a different game plan, and he's really commanding the staff tonight. He's done a brilliant job of containing some hitters.
Last hope for the Bandits is Andrew Campbell. Campbell takes a ball. 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored in the first. On the season, batting .207 with 2 homers and 4 runs batted in. Nielsen at first after a 1-out single. Ball 2, and not close. Here comes Murphy to talk things over.
That's what I talk about right there, about leadership and just right there, just a good timeout. Now he's 2-0 against a guy that's got a bit of pop, so just reminding him to make quality pitches and just give him a little bit of a rev up to try to close this game out.
With 2 down, Nielsen will be off on contact. A gapper may be able to score the tying run. Van Steensel readies the 2-0. Big swing and a miss. Campbell tried to send the fans home happy with that cut. It's 2-1.
So it shows how hard he's throwing because he knows he's in a hitting count. He's going to get a fastball, and it's able to still get it by him uncontested.
The pitch. Just missing, 3-1. TJ Bennett is on deck. A walk would force the tying run to scoring position and put the winning run on base. Van Steensel needs to throw a strike here. The pitch. Campbell takes ball 4. A 5-pitch walk, and the Bandits have a rally down to their final out in the 9th inning. A single, now a walk. Van Steensel has thrown 17 pitches now, only 9 of them for strikes. And now with the tying run in scoring position, a pinch runner comes on.
Looks like Zamora potentially is pinch running for Nielsen at second base.
Don't have number 8 on the roster, but of the unnumbered players, Liam McDonald.
Is this Tyson Zamora?
I don't believe Tyson Zamora is on the active roster this week. I'm going to say this is Liam McDonald. TJ Bennett at the plate. Bennett 1 for 4 with a single. The pitch. Called strike.
It is Tyson Zamora's pinch running for Nielsen. So obviously with the McGraw Foundation Alpha H pink jerseys, they probably had to go to the number that fit.
Van Steensel's 0-1. A big swing and a miss. Country hardball from Van Steensel to Bennett. And the Bandits are down to their final strike. Zamora at second. Campbell at first. The 0-2 pitch. Taken just up. That is a close pitch to take for TJ Bennett, but he made the right choice. Van Steensel ready already. He wants to end this ball game right here. The 1-2. Same pitch. And again, a close take. It's 2-2. Bennett has battled back to 2-2. The delivery. 3-2. Runners will take off. David Sutherland waits on deck. Good speed on the bases. Runners go. The pitch to Bennett. In the dirt. Ball 4. The bases are loaded, and Murphy was able to keep that ball in front of him. Otherwise, the tying run may have come all the way home from second base. Back-to-back walks with 2 down have extended the ball game for the Bandits against Sydney's vaunted closer.
Tell you what, good at bat by TJ. Fell behind the count 0-2 and able to lay off some very, very tough pitches up in the zone, and then that last one down in the dirt. So Bandits threaten, and really makes it tough because, you know, you've got a guy that just 4 straight balls in a row against a tough left-handed hitter in Sutherland. So anything can happen now.
Brian Murphy, the pitching coach, says his piece. Zamora, we believe, is at third. Campbell is at second. Bennett is at first. A base hit to the outfield should win the ball game for Brisbane. Sutherland today 1 for 4 with a solo home run in the third. Van Stinsel's first. Sutherland got a good pitch, and he fouled it back over the screen out of play. If every game is going to be like this, we are in for one heck of a weekend. The 0-1. Sutherland swings and misses. Letter high fastball, and once again, the Bandits are down to their last strike. The 0-2. Sutherland, foul ball down the first base line. Had it been fair, it likely would have ended the ball game as Shepard fielded it, moving to his left. Hard hit grounder, and Sutherland again got a pitch that he could do something with.
Yeah, probably too close for an 0-2 pitch right there. And a little bit, everyone's heart stops the beat for a split second, but now Sutherland's got to find a way to regroup, and obviously against a very hard throwing Van Stinsel tonight, and still threatened with bases loaded, 2 outs here in the 9th.
This will be pitch number 26 for the closer. That puts Sydney behind the 8 ball for the doubleheader tomorrow. Another 0-2 coming. The righty delivers. Sutherland lines it out to right field, and a sliding catch made by Campbell to end the ball game. The Bandits come up just short. Van Stinsel and the Blue Sox get the job done, and they have beaten the defending champions 5-4 in Brisbane. An outstanding tumbling play made by Campbell in right field, preventing the game-winning hit. Michael Campbell. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done.
Yeah, right. I tell you what, it was a big win for the Blue Sox, and acknowledge that ball club. They fought hard. They were down 4-1 and managed to chip away, and a great closeout of that ball game, and a good play by the right fielder for a big win in this tough. And I do agree with you. It's going to be a tough series before these two teams wind it all up.
Your final in 9 innings. Sydney wins it by a score of 5-4. Blue Sox had 5 runs on 9 hits with 1 error. The Bandits fall to 4-4 on the season and a game and a half behind the Blue Sox in the division. They scored 4 runs on 9 hits while committing 1 error. That is all we have for you this evening, but a reminder to come back tomorrow to Bandits TV, where we will have twice the baseball action for you. A doubleheader between the Bandits and the Blue Sox beginning at 2:30, with the nightcap following at 6 o'clock local time. For Paul Gonzalez, my broadcast partner, I am Eric Bramer. Thank you for watching this production of Bandits.tv. Join us tomorrow, and thanks for watching.
always been you.
It's always been